Okay, I think we are live. Sorry about that, folks. We just had some technical difficulties, but we are live and ready to go. And this will be, I think, our first kind of game stream in the 3 years of the existence of this con. Just figured it'd be nice to get some panelists from our VIPs from industry and just, whip up a game of Kult and introduce them to that, and having people who have joined the con for the first time to kind of see what this game's all about. Kult in Helmgast is kind of where this convention kind of started and took its roots, but we have kind of expanded from there to inclusive to all gaming companies, and we'd like to thank all of them for providing their support, whether it be through joining as a special guest in the panels, or sending through prize raffle lots for charity. 100% of those proceeds will go to the three funds that we have set up. Mental Health Ireland, Australia Help the Kids, and the Trevor Project in the United States. All wonderful causes. And to those who have donated so far, we thank you. And it's going to remain open until the evening of December, Friday the 13th. That wasn't done. We just wanted to give people some time because, the con is craziness, and we just wanted to give some extra time post-con to people just to, come down, relax, and just take a look to see what's available. But right now, we are here to play some Kult Divinity Lost with some, like I said, wonderful guests from industry. I think what's best is just to kind of go through. We'll go introduce each one of yourselves. We'll keep character introductions until we kind of start. But just tell just who you are, and feel free to plug something, and just tell the world what awesome people you are. Starting with Newman.
Oh. Hello, I'm TA Newman. I'm the host of a little podcast I run called the Miskatonic Playhouse. I'm also very lucky in the very recent past. I've been able to join the fantastic team at the Miskatonic Repository Con as well. So I get to represent those wonderful humans. And I'm not alone here tonight doing that as well, which is amazing. I'm also a writer in the community, a lot of actual play podcasting. I'm a voice actor by trade, teacher of acting, although teaching might be a far stretch at this point in my career. I'm in the room when it happens. I've written 3 best-selling scenarios, got some fantastic stuff coming out in the future, and just finding that wonderful, delicate balance between life and this, and making sure I get the best out of both of it, actually, which I'm really kind of finding my jam with, which I'm really pleased about. Yeah, I'm really pleased to be here. So thank you for running this, Ryan.
No problem. Thank you. And we'll go to XPLoveCat. Who are you?
Hello. So my name is Leslie, or if you see me around the internet, XPLoveCat. I have a YouTube channel where I talk about role-playing games, scenario reviews, mostly horror RPGs, so Call of Cthulhu. I have some Cult videos out there as well, a couple of scenarios, and a system review. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can check out my channel. I'm also a developmental editor for role-playing games and fiction. And I am excited to be here. Oh, I'm also part of the Miskatonic Repository Convention in October. It's a free convention for Call of Cthulhu and authors who write their own scenarios. So that's me.
And finally, Travis, who are you in?
My name is Travis Legge. My pronouns are he and they. Normally, I am in the story guide seat, so this is going to be cool. I rarely get the opportunity to play. I appreciate it. I most frequently am seen on the internet over at the ONYX Path Twitch channel, where I coordinate the programming. I also manage social media, do a lot of the video production for ONYX Path. If you saw the numerous videos that came out over the past year to promote Curseborn, I was responsible for creating those. And that would be the thing that I would like to promote. Please head over to curseborn.com, where you can check out ONYX Path's triumphant return to horror and learn all about it. Pre-order the book now on BackerKit. We had a huge successful Kickstarter. It was very wonderful. And bringing Story Path Ultra into horror with Curseborn. Good times. So thank you so much for having me. It's going to be fun to be able to be a player.
Yeah, and I think probably most of us can say, maybe, I know I got the forever GM curse, and the times I try to be a player, it's so hard to be a player because maybe it's control issues. I have no idea, but that's me. That's okay. I love telling stories, and then I love having, just broadcasting it to the world.
Well, you'll have to come and play in one of my games so that it's all even, and that's an invitation to the room as well. So.
100%.
Excellent. Yeah, no, I recommend, like Travis has, Curseborn. There's multiple APs of that out there. I think there was a few by Matthew Dawkins and a few others. Definitely highly recommend. And from there, if the players don't have any questions, we'll get going. Okay, so this scenario is Oakwood Heights. It's part of the scenario collection from Helmgast. I think it's called Teroticum and Other Tales. That is available on their web shop. And actually, the special for Kult 4th edition, they actually have every scenario in PDF form. So if you like this AP, you can go check out Oakwood Heights and 5 to 6 others. And you can download them for free and try the system out. Oakwood Heights is not kind of told as the starter scenario, but if you are in the community and ask around, everyone pretty much points you to this direction. It's a great introduction to the system, and it's a kind of CSI based story. And before we start, please pay kind heed to the content warnings in the beginning. There are some doozies in this one. Those are the ones that I've seen come up in previous runnings, but during roleplay, we all obviously know that some things can come up through roleplay with players and or other kind of situations. Players, if anything comes up that you don't enjoy or want to kind of veil past, feel free to just throw up an X or text me on Discord or something, and we'll close that up. But I've already gone through lines and veils and what people don't enjoy, because we want this to be a fun and kind of ongoing experience. And Kult deals with personal horror. For those who are new out there, I think the best analogy to describe it is it's the Matrix with Keanu Reeves, but instead of machines and autonomous AI, it is angels and demons and devils. And in most of these scenarios, the players are the horrific thing, the assholes, and we are, as long as the story goes along, we are discovering what makes them horrible. So it does run a little dark, but we'll see if they can come out on top or not dead at the end. Excellent. I love laughs in a horror game. So...
nervous laugh. Nervous.
It's all right. It's going to be okay.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. All right, so let's get going here. And we are streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Feel free to send through comments, and we love replying to them. And here we go. Detroit, Michigan, in November 2015. A city in decay. Desolate houses, dilapidated city blocks, and rusting industries. All drenched in snowy grit, chilly rain, and icy winds off the Great Lakes. Formerly the hub of the auto industry, the city is now in serious decline. The population has dwindled from 2 million to 700,000 in only a few decades. In the central regions, there are empty and abandoned skyscrapers. In the surrounding areas, many of the houses lie desolate. Entire neighborhoods have been swallowed up by urban decay, left forgotten, and fallow. On the streets, the gains hold sway over the urban jungle, while those living in the gutter try to suppress their misery through drugs and alcohol. Per capita, the average income in Detroit at this time is 2/3 lower than anywhere else, and the majority of the population has moved away. But it's not all bad. Pockets of hope remain, but they are few and far between. Our story starts tonight on November 17th. It's Tuesday, at 2 p.m. Our characters here have gathered at 12,000 Livernois Avenue, a offshot precinct just on the edge of Oakwood Heights, a kind of one of those suburbanite areas that have kind of falling away and into decay. They are here today to try to jostle the memory of a convicted serial killer called Franklin Mills. The thing with this case is the evidence is there. All the due diligence has been done. It should be a tried and shut case, but unfortunately, his mind has supposedly, he forgets everything. Even passing on lie detector tests and everything in between. So our cast of characters here today their purpose is to kind of bring Franklin around to try to jostle his memory, because he is a scourge on society. He is killed many people, even a cop. And they are here today to kind of bring him back through the scenes of his most recent murders and, try to jostle that memory. But we'll get to that. The Livernois Police Station is the dilapidated building in central Detroit. In one of the conference rooms, you all sit here while the Lieutenant Pierce drags on a cigarette, and he's going through this kind of file folder of scene photos and evidence, background information. And you three have kind of already ventured into this location, sitting down in cold November. The conference room you're in, to a large extent, is inconspicuous. It features a whiteboard with pens. There's even one of those projectors. I don't think it's working. Front light bulb is busted, but they have one of those old kind of, slide viewers where the light bulb on the glass and it kind of projects it on the wall. This place is definitely technologically not too advanced, but besides that, the chairs you sit on are very uncomfortable. The floor is covered in thick, dark brown wall-to-wall carpeting. Outside, the wintry sleet patters against the window, and it's freaking cold in here. It definitely has heating problems, and the only thing pumping any sort of heat out in this little room is one of those floor kind of heating units, and even that's like making a bunch of weird sounds as you all sit here in this November chill. And as Lieutenant Pierce stands up, looks around, who is he looking at? And we'll start with the slickster prosecutor, Joshua Katz. Who are you?
So I am Joshua. You can call me Josh. I prefer Joshua because it just sounds more formal. I am always in a suit, and I'm always very well put together. I am tall, dark hair, and my hair has way too much gel in it. Like, I've spent probably 40 minutes making sure that it's the right amount of messy looking. So I'm here to kind of help make sure that we get a confession out of Franklin. And I'm very confident that I can do that.
And as we go around the table, we see Detective Jenner. Who are you?
Detective Jenner. Detective Jenner is stern-faced. Detective Jenner does not have a smile that someone would look at and say, I'll go and talk to them. Detective Jenner is hardened. They're wearing a kind of thick coat, suit. You can see that they are police through and through. You can see that they've probably got their service weapon on them. Phones on the table, pack of cigarettes are on the table next to them. They're kind of like turning their lighter over and banging it off the table, and they're drinking out of a coffee that looks like it's probably had about, even though it's a takeaway cup or one of the kind of the police kind of paper cups that's supposed to be very good for being recycled but isn't in this instance. They've probably had about 4 or 5 coffees out of there. But bizarrely, Jenna is chewing gum at the same time as drinking coffee. So there's a very kind of strong minty but also coffee smell. Jenna is determined 100%, without doubt, without fail, to get Franklin Mills to own up to what he's done. And not just Franklin, there are things that went wrong with this case. The way this went down was wrong, and Jenna wants to prove that.
Excellent. Great to meet you. And lastly, who is that doctor at the other side of the table? Who is she?
Dr. Caitlin DeHarm, though she prefers Dr. DeHarm or simply doctor. Woman probably in her mid to late 40s, dressed in a brown trench coat, like overcoat over a somewhat conservative skirt suit, wearing flats, carrying a briefcase that she has set next to her at the moment in the chair, but periodically reaches down and touches, maybe even just habitually to confirm for herself that it's there. Her hair is starting to gray and is kept up, hairsprayed, probably in a style that was more common 20 years ago than it is today, but she's just not bothered to change her look much. She's very coldly observing the room, sort of giving off vibes that ride somewhere between Dr. Loomis of Halloween and Dr. Decker of Nightbreed, as she kind of just takes in the environment around her.
Okay, nice to meet you all. And it's a very cold environment. There's one other person in here, kind of more specific to Detective Jenner. When Franklin Mills was caught, it was he's currently not he's on administrative leave, but he's still on the payroll. Aiden Christoph, he was it was his gun. It wasn't proven. He said he didn't do it, but it was his gun that killed your partner, Clark Glover. And how do you feel about that? He's sitting that it was his gun. It wasn't proven it was him, but he's sitting there, eyes down. Might kind of, he's been mostly quiet and somber, but he's been giving you quick stares every once in a while, Jenner.
Every time Kostov gives one of those stares, Jenner is already fixedly staring at Aiden. So there are moments where Jenner is like locked on, and Aiden kind of looks up, and that would break contact immediately. Jenner, since the incident with Franklin Mills that Aiden was a part of, for Jenner, this is negligence. Aiden's negligence got Clark killed, who was my partner. Without any kind of question whether Aiden pulled the trigger or not. Aiden's gun, Aiden's responsibility. Take that responsibility.
Okay. All right, so Lieutenant Pierce gets up. He's going through this file folder, takes a drag on the cigarette, and all right. I know these are kind of unusual circumstances, but I'd like to welcome you all here today for this kind of Jocelyn event. It usually doesn't happen, but Mr. Katz has wanted to kind of bring this convicted killer back out to see if he can make Franklin remember, commit. What's he looks over at you, Katz. What's your plan in this?
So look, we all know he did this. We need to make sure that we take him through each of the different rooms, giving the appropriate time to have him take a look around, ask him appropriate questions to try and jostle his memory. But this is going to be a big case. Media is already paying attention to it, and it's very important for the safety of everyone involved in the situation, and perhaps my reputation some as well, to make sure that this person is properly taken care of by the justice system.
Yeah, and that's all nice. I really usually wouldn't let a kind of assignment or task like this happen in my precinct, but there's still that point about the 9-year-old missing boy. His body was never found. You'll see it in the file folder there. His name's William Bedford. He was the only surviving member of Franklin's kind of last rampage. Father, Ryan, and mother, Lynn, were both murdered in the first crime scene. And William had a friend, I think it was from a few homes away. I can't remember her name. I think it was Soraya. She was found, unfortunately, locked and suffocated inside one of the wardrobes up in the house. But if it wasn't for this missing boy's body not being found, it's definitely over the 48 hours part. But hey, orders come further up the chain for me, and I can't do nothing about it. But hey, if you can find him, you can find him. I'm not holding my breath. Doc, what's your part in all this? Are you here to jostle his, like, make him remember? Like, what the hell can you do? We've had other people like you in.
I would definitely be interested in seeing if we can access those memories, and I have some theories as to how we might go about doing that. I would like to state, just for the record, that I do not think this is the best environment for us to be poking around in his mind. I think that if we want to have a positive outcome, I think that we would be better suited to have him transferred to a more therapeutic environment.
Unfortunately, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, he doesn't need therapy. He needs to see where he did what he did, and he gonna need to tell us.
Absolutely, but this environment, my concerns are that in an environment such as this, not only is he going to remain closed off, but any attempt to access those memories, force him to face his demons, as it were, are going to not only be unfruitful, but likely be harmful both to him and to your investigation. Now, I will absolutely work with whatever tools I am given. I'm just stating, I think that we would get much further if we could get him into a hospital under whatever security is necessary.
I'll get him into a hospital. When we find out what we want, when he tells us where William is, I'll put him in hospital.
Indeed. Right.
Yeah, then literally just like lights up a cigarette in the middle of the precinct, kind of saying that, and big swig of the coffee, chewing gum, and now cigarette. There's a lot going on there.
As you're doing that, I'm sitting by you, and you see my chair scoot away from you a little bit when you light your cigarette.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We all have our trials and tribulations and thoughts against this thing and other environments. Like, Doc, you know what? I'm usually for people being brought back to society and kind of having that, them kind of go through the processes. But unfortunately, I don't even know if this has turned into a federal matter, but the regulations are there.
Make no mistake, officer, I do not think that he should be hospitalized as part of some rehabilitation. I've seen the files. The man's a monster. But
We agree with that.
I do think that what we have us do and drag him into an interrogation room, meet with him in his cell. I don't know how you expect us to make any sort of headway in such a circumstance, especially with someone who is clearly so far from what we would all understand as sanity.
Well, those aren't my plans, sir. And you kind of see him give a glance over to Joshua.
With all due respect, with this man going through the house, he will be forced to confront these memories. He clearly is not actually remembering them because he's been put up against a lie detector, which I have confidence is something that would show us if he was telling the truth. And so it's not necessarily that he is going to he hasn't been hiding these things from us. He's been hiding these things from himself. So being able to confront those and be in that environment, he will have no choice but to have those memories appear, and we can access them at that point.
Yes, and the consensus here is that the wisest course of action is to take someone who has proven to be psychotic, murderous, and dangerous and place them in an environment where they are likely to have an uncomfortable reckoning with those memories. We feel that's the safest and most fruitful course of investigation.
I have all the confidence in the world that we have the appropriate people in this room to keep everyone safe.
You also have confidence in the veracity of lie detector tests, which are at best dubious.
I do have confidence in them, and I have confidence.
Confidence doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence.
The other methods we've used as well, they've all come up with the same conclusion that he clearly doesn't understand what happened, and he needs to have these memories come to the surface.
Again, I don't disagree.
Hey, I've seen people fucking piss around with lie detectors. It is what it is, right? This guy needs to answer for what he's done. There is a boy that is missing, dead or alive, his family who cannot grieve him because they are dead, they need answers. If this guy has to go through a traumatic fucking wall in their house, in his old house, why are we even debating this? Get that son of a bitch into that room so he can see what he's done and then tell us, and then he can deal with it. And our justice system, which I wholeheartedly believe in, deals with him too.
Well, my concerns for the patient's safety are my profession requires a certain level of concern for all patient safety. Having said that, my primary concern is not his safety in this situation. My primary concern is ours. I understand that you have a strong emotional investment in this. Would you care for a sedative before we head out?
No, I'm good. I got my wits about me. I'm just professionally engaged in the outcome of this investigation, I think would be the polite way to say it.
Well, as I said, I just wanted to put my feelings on the record and state that when this man loses his mind and becomes dangerous to all of us, when something goes wrong with this situation, which I'm certain it will, I just want you to know that I'd indicated that might be the case.
I'll make a note that you said we shouldn't do this.
Thank you for sharing your opinions, and feel free to keep a wide distance from this man as we go through the house, if that would make you feel better.
Well, I wouldn't dream of it. I'm very fascinated and interested in seeing what his responses will be. Don't get me wrong. This is an excellent opportunity for research. I just hope none of us wind up paying for that research in our own blood. That's all.
Well, you won't be around him for that long. And then you see Pierce kind of go through his file folder again. He's like, all right, we were able to negotiate a kind of short stint with this guy. The prison transport will, let's see here, we'll bring him to crime scene 1, the Bedford family home at 514 South Warren Street at 3:30 p.m., but you only got 3 hours. And crime scene 2 is on, where was that? He'll be picked up by 6:30, but if you want to get him to both crime scenes, the second site was, as we all know, on Zug Island. People who have been around the Detroit area, Zug Island is kind of where they dismantle old kind of coal ships. This particular one is half stripped, half kind of there. It's kind of beached up on one of those man-made islands. It's, yeah, don't breathe too much. It's fucking disgusting around there. Yeah, that's yeah, that'd be the second place I think would be the place to bring them. But yeah, besides that, you get 3 hours to do what you do, and then he has to go back. Is that all right with everybody?
Yes.
And
more than enough time.
And you see, look, Aiden hasn't said anything. He gets up, just pushes, gets up really fast. The chair kind of goes back fast, hits against the wall, and it just looks like he just walks out. And he just goes, I'll meet you there.
Can I go up to Pierce once Aiden's walked out of the room?
Yep.
Say, does he need to come with us? Is this like? I mean, who made that decision? I mean,
he did. He wanted to go. He just said he needed to. I don't know. I think he's suffering a little bit. He said he can't remember everything. I don't know. I tried to tell him not to, but he really I don't know. He's trying to figure things out. He's not going to be armed. He's still on leave. Yeah. Just watch him, Jenner, please. I know you might have your gripes about him, and it was his weapon, but it's just not that kind of guy. I don't know.
I'm just gonna take my phone out of my pocket and make some notes.
Yeah, okay. Jenna won't even respond to that. Jenna just kind of grits teeth, nods very slowly, and then turns back to the others.
All right, you all good? All right, it takes about a half hour to get there. The roads are a little bit of a mess. How you get there, I don't care, but you should have well enough time before the prisoner van shows up.
So, Cats, you got any idea on how you want to do this? I mean, are we walking him through Franklin? That is the way he came through, following the report. The course of events. The report, as in back porch in through the house that way. Is that your intention?
I think that would probably be a good starting place. We might have to revisit some of the rooms depending on if we think he's getting close. The doctor here, I'm sure, would have a better indication of when that might be happening based on body language. But I think that's a good starting point, is to follow the path that he took.
I think if we wish to reach him, our first goal, we are beginning at the house, correct?
Yep.
I think if we wish to reach him and we really want to pierce through the walls that he has put up, I think it would behoove us to begin our interrogations in the master bedroom at the wardrobe.
You guys do whatever you want.
You think starting him at the wardrobe?
I do. It's tied to established traumas, we know that he's suffered, and that's going to be more likely to rouse him to wakefulness. If your plan is to poke this bear until it starts speaking, then I say we go ahead and poke it.
Well, I'm not too picky. I think that we're going to have to visit quite a few rooms to get this goal achieved. So if you want to start the wardrobe, I'm fine with that.
If you don't mind, when we get there, I'd like to take him in through the back porch. That is the way that he entered the house. And we don't have to stop there. We can keep moving. We can go straight up to the wardrobe, as you say. But I think perhaps taking that path up through the living room and then the stairs, I think that might be a good course of action. Like you say, it might be a primer, might prep him. Having taken criminals to crime scenes where they've committed crimes, usually ones that remember what they've done, not ones that are pretending they can't remember what they haven't done. The instances, you usually walk them through the crime, through the turn of events. So if you want to start with the wardrobe and, as you say, poke this bear, happy to. But I'd like to walk him in through the back door.
I have no objection to that. I think that walking him through the place in the order in which he most recently traveled through it is probably fine. And if it does, in fact, trigger some response prior to us reaching the wardrobe, then we can address that at that point. I am not confident it will. While I respect that you may believe that this is pretending, I believe that he has thrown up some very serious walls to his memory, probably in a desperate attempt to preserve what is left of his sense of self. But I think if we're going to break through those, our best bet is the wardrobe where he starved his sister.
Well, I thought that was his mother.
Forgive me, I misspoke.
Okay.
Okay, you all good to go? All right, sounds good. Doesn't matter how you kind of get out there. You'll get out there together or in your kind of separate vehicles. But it is a pretty shitty day of traveling. The snow and sleet kind of let up a little bit, but it's still coming down. It's cold outside. And you will make your way 20, 25-minute drive to 514 South Warring Street. You get there. Aiden's car is already kind of parked outside. He's standing outside, long coat, hood is up. But when you look at the house, it is a kind of small 2-story building. It has a kind of fading facade in the front. The white paint is peeling all over. Its garden is overgrown, and the lawn is all yellow, thorny grass. And just around the whole property, these kind of just pale plastic old children's toys laying all around. Sleet gathers in the pools in the driveway. And around the front door, as you kind of look out all your car windows or as you're just getting out, there are remains of police tape from months ago, kind of investigations. But that's been tore off. And if you've ever been in an industrial neighborhood with an oil refinery in the back, you get out and you just hear this, you kind of see the industry in the background, and just there's this faint, like, kind of mechanical hum that just pervades the environment. And that smell of, like, just smugness in the air. What do you do?
Are we just real quick? Are we traveling together to arrive there, or are we traveling separately?
I would be going separate in my very clean car.
Okay.
I'd be going in my very probably well-used, well-littered, cigarette-smelling car, my duty car.
In that case, I might ask if I might ride along with the officer, ride along with you.
Yeah.
And as we're driving there, I will open my briefcase and produce 2 items that I will place in the pockets of my coat. One is a bottle of sedatives, a bottle of pill sedatives, The other is a rather sizable syringe filled with a rather ominous-looking fluid.
What sedatives are they?
This is just a Xanax, effectively, the pills. This is a tranquilizer that is typically used for research with larger primates. I find it's most effective when people are in the throes of hysteria, particularly people who are normally strong-framed. It's perfectly safe, I assure you.
Shame.
Okay.
She will light a cigarette whilst driving, windows closed. Yeah, a slight crack of a window open, and yeah, just. I think what Jenna kind of puts across is, as much as Jenna is a difficult person to communicate with, converse with, it's because of the situation. That seems to be the overriding kind of aura giving off because of the events that are taking place.
Sure. And Dr. DeHarm is doesn't seem to react much to any of the behaviors. Doesn't seem to be overly disturbed or disgusted by the cigarette smoke. Doesn't seem to really be bothered by it at all. Doesn't really seem to have much of an interaction at all. Kind of just detaches, dissociates for the remainder of the ride.
Okay, perfect. Mr. Katz, you get there first, and probably about 5 minutes later, Jenner and the doctor pull up behind and park behind you.
When they arrive, I'm probably pacing a bit back and forth in front of the house. Normally, what you've seen from Joshua so far is that he is usually very composed, but now that he's on the crime scene, the nerves are getting to him a little bit, and you can tell he's trying to pace them out.
Aiden's there before they get there, and he kind of comes over, and he asks you, why are you doing this?
So we can have justice, of course.
Fucking justice. He was in jail. They had him. He wasn't getting out. Why bring an animal back out of its cage?
We need a confession, and we need to find that boy.
He doesn't need a confession. The boy is dead. It's been months.
The boy's not dead. There's a chance that the boy's
dead.
not dead.
It's been months. 48 hours. It goes out the window.
There's still a chance.
You see him just take a puffer of... You don't know him that well. You might have read his police file, but he does have mild asthma. And just what the fuck ever. Sorry, I'm just under a lot of stress. And he just walks.
I understand. Are you all right being here? You don't have to be here.
No, it's just Jenner just needs to know it wasn't me. Yes, it was my gun, but it wasn't me. I just fucking believe me. I got to work with her. I need to prove it. I just need to prove it. Don't bring this up, please. It's been like walking on eggshells around her. I feel horrible about her partner, but I just can't fucking remember anything.
It's not my place to get involved in personal matters, but I'm here for the truth, just like you. We'll get to it.
And I want to say a little bit of a smile cracks, but then his gaze kind of goes back and he sees Jenner's car kind of pulling up, and he just walks away from you and just, acting like he wasn't even talking to you. And this is when the other two kind of get out, and all of you are staring at this. I'd say it's his 2-story, but it's more of a 1.5 level house. And what do you do? It's cold, it's rain, you got that mechanical hum in the background, and just the stink of being around an oil refinery.
And where is our guest?
He's supposed to be here by now. It's about 3:31. He's supposed to be delivered at 3:30. It's probably just the roads.
I'll check the time on my phone and say, I certainly hope that the patient hasn't escaped on the way here.
Yeah, no, you don't. There's no text messages or anything like that. But you do. Oh, there's something coming in the distance. It looks like a white van. You can barely see it as it's coming along because it's the sleet in the background. But for a second, you're like, oh, there he is. And then all of a sudden, you see a big satellite dish on the back. Channel 5 News is here.
Ah, fuck. Okay, no mention of them being late, no mention of nothing, right?
Of course.
Cats, you dealing with the media? This seems to be your thing.
Yep, I have it handled.
Okay. And you know it's Kate Dixon. She always has her nose in these kind of juicy situations. You don't know how she gets her tips, but this was supposed to be completely not communicated at all. But the van pulls up. You see her kind of get out. Kind of like those she has on the light tan news reporter outfit, kind of a mauvish kind of blouse shirt. You think she'd be dressed with high heels on, but it is winter outside, so she does have trout pants and the wintry gear. And she gets out, and she's followed by you see the cameraman get out, and she looks at all three of you, kind of collects herself, but she makes a beeline to you, cats.
Yep. Hey, my dear, how are you doing?
Good. How are you? Nice seeing you. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it's been a bit. What are you doing here?
Well, just let's say we got an anonymous tip, the way I usually get these. Yeah. Well, anyway, we won't go through with that. We heard that. Is it true that Franklin Mills is being let out? The beast, the animal. And you're bringing him here today. What can you tell us about that? Microphone to your face, and the camera starts rolling.
I'm sure you know that I can't tell you much. What I can tell you is we are here to get justice, and we are here to potentially find the truth of William Bedford and where he is.
That's what we heard. Thank you for those comments. One more question, if you don't mind.
Yes. What is your question?
Well, you yourself, this is for you. You are a highly educated lawyer, originally from Washington, D.C., isn't that right? Why have you chosen to serve the law in Detroit?
Well, I think that this is an area that needs a lot of support and needs to have well-educated folks here bring the justice system to a high place. And I'm here to help the community and make sure that everyone here is safe.
Great. That's good to hear. Thanks for your input. Then as she goes to the side, kind of like, oh, it's a detective. And she goes like this. And doctor, you see that there's another white van coming in, and it's labeled correctional services. So you think that's Franklin kind of driving up as the Kate Dixon comes up to you, detective.
And I clock that both of these things are occurring at the same time.
Yeah, they're off like a few minutes each.
Two things I would like to try to do. One, while the attorney is speaking with the media, I would like to turn around to the. I'm horrid with names. It's Jeffries. Is that what it is?
Jenner.
Oh
wait. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to turn around. I would turn to Jenner and just say, "Listen, I know I may come off as a bit cold, but I do understand that you have an emotional tie to this case, and I do want you to feel comfortable voicing that. And if there are other things that you need to discuss, I'm happy to listen."
I appreciate your candor, Doc. We got a job to do. Let's get it done. Let's get it done right.
For certain. But if it becomes overwhelming, you need to step aside, please simply let me know and I will arrange for it. If you just need a moment to collect yourself while we're in there, I'm happy to take you aside and give you an opportunity to vent. That's all.
Yeah. Cheers, Doc.
As Kate starts to head towards the detective, I would like to try and grab her arm before she gets to him.
Yeah, sure.
Kate, I know you are just doing your job, and I respect that. But we have some serious matters to take care of today, and if you could perhaps leave the detective and doctor to do their jobs, that would be most appreciated. I'm trying to be a little bit charming while I'm speaking to her.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, freedom of the press, yeah, no. And she pulls away from you as very easily, but yeah.
The other thing I would like to try to do, if I clock that the press is approaching at the same time the corrections van is approaching, is say to Jenner, like, why don't you meet our friend and I will intercept over here and start stepping up toward the approaching reporter.
Just out of character, I feel like everyone's trying to get me away from the press as if I won't give a good impression. I don't know what's going on here.
Nudge,
Wow.
nudge.
Nice.
As a quick,
100%, yeah.
All right.
that is
Am I not a
absolutely
good
not the doctor's
representative?
motivations, by the way. The doctor's motivations are that she's a press whore. That's her motivation.
Yeah, Jenna will take that nod. Yeah, Jenna's not one to, doesn't want to stand in front of the press and talk, sees the correctional van, and will just kind of go straight over to where the correctional van is pulling in, essentially, to be there for when Franklin gets out.
All right.
And
go ahead.
I was going to say the doctor will brazenly walk right up to the media and say, hello. So didn't expect to see you out here.
Yeah, and this kind of all happens at the same time. So we'll put a pin in the you definitely get in front of her and stop her. But I want to go to Jenner here for a sec. So the doctor successfully applies a great blocking mechanism. The correctional services van pulls up. It comes in slowly because it sees the news van. And you see the guy in the driver's seat just go, fuck. And he kind of pulls over to the other side of the road. And instead of parking where naturally in front of the house where the press van would be, just pulls up just on the other side, further on a little way. But you're able to get there, no problem. And there should be 2 guards in this kind of, because regulations dictate there should be 2, but one jumps out. He gets out. He opens up the back doors, and he gets out. He gets out Franklin, and he comes around. And you haven't seen this guy in a while. And just to kind of give you a description here, he gets out of the back. He's dressed in orange prison overalls with a padded jacket at the top. A gray-haired, haggard man, even though he's only in his mid-40s. You see him kind of get out, very scarce winter clothing. He's shaking a lot, and brought out into the natural light. He's just like, just protecting his eyes from. Seems like you go from a dark basement up to a floor with windows, kind of like that reaction. And his feet and hands are, those handcuff situations where it's like on his wrist and there's a chain that goes down and his legs are chained as well. And he kind of comes out and he kind of looks in your direction. But it's not him that's standing there. That kind of takes your gaze, detective. It's just down the street a little bit. Behind the telephone pole, just a little bit further down, there's this girl. Looks like she's about 11 or 12 years old in a pink padded coat. She looks around, her head pops up beside it. It looks like she's hiding behind it. And she looks right at you. And she looks very familiar to you. Very, very familiar.
Yeah. Hey, guard, what's your name?
Huh? You see that he has
Name.
headphones in, and his phone. He gets out his phone, and he's just kind of looking at it.
Okay. I'll in a moment of desperation, I will look towards Aiden. Hopefully Aiden is eyes over here because of Franklin's arrival.
Yep.
And I will beckon him over.
Comes on over. Yes, officer.
Aiden, guard, Franklin, stay the fuck here. Keep him out of sight. What? I'll be back in 1 minute. Do not move. Do you understand me, Aiden?
Yes, detective. What's the matter?
Guard, do you understand him? It doesn't fucking matter the matter. Just stay here.
Yeah, no problem. I got him. Relax.
Jenna will essentially jog off to the lamppost to the girl.
She's not there.
I'm gonna have a quick scan around the area.
Yeah, no footprints, no nothing. Must be seeing things.
Can anybody see me in this moment where I am now?
Yeah. Aiden's kind of looking off in your general direction, looking confused. His hand is on one side of Franklin. And the guard, you catch a glimpse of what he's watching. It's a football game. American football.
In a very practiced gesture with my back towards Aiden, so I'm relatively shielded, but relatively practiced at this as well. I am going to sneak a rather large swig of my hit flask. And I'm probably going to chuck in what looks like a mint into my mouth as well.
Okay, you do that.
And then I will turn around, light a cigarette, and walk on back over.
Okay, maybe you were just seeing things, but it's when you kind of get back and Franklin looks at you and he's like, kind of head nudges you over. Hey.
What you want?
You killed the child too, eh?
What the fuck do you say?
Get the fuck out of my face. I don't want to for your fucking minty breath. I didn't say anything.
Don't know what you think this is, Franklin, but this ain't no fucking social visit. You're here to do a job, you piece of shit.
I am not doing anything for you. I ain't doing anything for you. He looks over at Aiden, and this is just a great big government conspiracy to make me say something I didn't do. You're not going to make me say anything I didn't do, and I didn't done it. I've already said it. I've been through it all. Poke and prod me all you want. You ain't getting nothing.
Oh, I'll fucking poke and prod you, Franklin. And it ain't you doing something for me, you son of a bitch.
Jenner,
Trust me.
Calm down. Leave this guy alone.
You fucking...
You see Aiden kind of tugging on you there a little bit.
Get the fuck off. Hey, get him to the back door. And I will make sure that I am within, a few feet of that, but just not directly with Franklin.
Okay. We'll rewind a little bit here. And Doctor, you're playing kind of decoy here for the excuse me, the Kate Dixon from Channel 5. You can see her just like, Detective, can I get and then you kind of get in front of her. And it takes her a few seconds to kind of figure out who you are. And she's like, oh, Doctor, you're here too?
Oh, yes. I am here to assist with the process, and saw you heading over, so I thought I'd go ahead and give you an opportunity to ask you a question.
Yeah, sure. First of all, do you have what are your thoughts on this kind of whole case? Like, why is someone as renowned as yourself with multiple award-winning books and literature? Why are you here for a case like this?
Well, quite frankly, I find the case fascinating. I think that Clearly, Mr. Mills is a disturbed man, and if your viewers would read the articles I've already written so far on Mazes of the Murderous Mind, I've been quite fascinated with this case since I first became aware of it. I am here to delve into what it is that makes such a mind function or not, and see how we can use that insight to not only address future problems, but to wrestle with our own inner demons and find our own peace. After all, everyone is dealing with a little bit of mental struggle, wouldn't you say?
Okay, sorry, can you put that in point form for me, please? I know you're well respected and educated, but just just a few points.
Of course,
not one of your books.
Of course, forgive me. I do tend to get a little bit long-winded at times. Frankly, I'm here to find out what drives such a broken mind.
Well, it's very interesting. What I have been able to find is that, or not even find, but why, in your professional opinion, why would Franklin Mills commit these murders in his family home?
We often return to the site of horrible traumas we've suffered. Hurt people. That is why. Okay.
Good. That's good. All right. Do you think I can get a couple questions with? I would love to talk to the detective.
I'm sorry, we're just really have to get to it. As you can see,
he's not available. He's not available, Kate.
What?
I'm sorry.
All right, fine. We'll just don't mind us. We're just going to take a lunch and we'll sit back and relax. And you don't have to worry about us. We're just going to take a break here.
Excellent idea.
Okay. What do you do? Jenner, you see Aiden and this like 6 foot tall person, headphones in, has his phone going. He has his other arm in Franklin. Him and Aiden are just kind of walking this guy along. You can see this emaciated, not really haggard, kind of like the white gray, just messed up hair, scraggly beard, and just looks so pissed off.
I'm going to tell the guard to. Oh, actually, I will, as a professional courtesy. Just, hey, headphones.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, take them off, keep them out, put your phone away.
But I got a bet on I got a bet on this game. He's fine. You got him. Just two cops and look, he's all chained up. I got money riding on this. Please, I gotta.
Do you know what this guy did?
I'm just paid.
You want me to tell you?
I'm just paid to truck people around, buddy. That's all I'm here for.
Are we approaching while this exchange is happening, or is this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, are you certain? I'm just gonna rattle the pills in my pocket. You sure you're okay?
And
I am fine.
He sees the rest of you come along, and he kind of clicks in kind of what's going around in this kind of situation, and he's like, seems a little serious there for a bit. He's like, oh yeah, all right, no problem. He's like he keeps one earbud out, and he puts the phone back in his pocket, and he's like, all right, Franklin, get going. And he pushes him toward the house.
Franklin, it's good to see you. How are you feeling?
It's good to see you. Get out of my face. I don't need another. What are you? You look like one of those doctors have been asking me if I'm fine, what's going on. Do I remember this? Do I remember that? Well, guess what? I don't.
I see. I'm just here to help. I'm just here in case you need to vent. I'm just here to help you, Franklin. I know this is going to be a challenging situation for you. I just want you to know you can trust me.
What's challenging is walking around these stupid-ass chains. I can't walk 2 feet without tripping over myself. You want to help? Get these off me.
Well, you know why those are on you, don't you, Franklin?
Nope, don't care to either. You're going to tell me why they're on me anyway, just like everyone else is.
Well, if everyone else has told you, then you know, right?
Apparently, I'm the only one who doesn't. Get out of my face.
Of course. Step to the side.
Franklin, we're gonna take you through this house. We're gonna ask you some questions. You're gonna answer them questions. You're gonna do it politely. You're gonna do it concisely, but you're gonna do it to the best of your ability. Now, I can tell you, Franklin, before we even enter 1 foot in that house, the words "I don't remember," "I don't know," not fucking welcome.
Yeah, sure.
I'll open the back door, and I imagine at this point, Aiden will have picked up the idea in terms of just that kind of like police management of the suspect here. Aiden's going to go in first. We know that the guard's still outside, so that when Franklin goes in, even with the chains on, if Franklin were to try and run, there's one person with him, me, as in law enforcement at all times, and Aiden will be able to preempt him so that he's not going to try and run or anything like that.
Okay, no problem. Aiden kind of goes in first. He stops at the crest of the door, and you just see him kind of take a look around, like, just remembering kind of what's been going on here. And but he goes in, and he's just being very cantankerous. It's like, I can walk myself. You don't need to throw me in here. You're right. And he just continually just kind of rambling on. And cats, besides how utterly bad smelling it is just from the industry that's kind of around here, you walk to the front, you walk to the back door porch, and when you go from let's say it's cold outside and the heat's on, and you're hit by a wall of heat. This place is cold. There's no power besides the light coming in from the windows and your flashlights. But when you get to the door, you just smell like the place looks like shit, and it's disgusting. It's trashed. It was fires and everything. But you walk in, you smell cleaner, bleach, just a very, very strong smell, like someone's been through here and just sterilized everything. And it's you're used to the smell. And how do you react?
I take a moment to take in the surroundings, and when I smell the intense bleach smell, I stop and I ask the detective, I'm like, "Hey, did this place get cleaned?"
What do you mean? What, like recently or like after the events?
After the events, it smells like bleach, very intense bleach.
Does it smell like bleach?
It does.
Does it smell to me like bleach, GM?
Nope. It smells like mold, muck, and old ash fires.
Cats, all crime scenes, once they're qualified and there's no further evidence, there are independent cleaning companies that come in and then clean, but I'm talking months ago now. This place, that's me, needs another fucking clean.
Yeah, I guess. It still looks pretty dirty.
Franklin looks over at you. It's all right there, buddy. I know what it's like to want to kill your mother.
I'm sorry, what? No.
What are you staring at me for? Everyone's staring at me today.
It's your fucking wild comments.
Fuck off, all of you.
What do you...
Why would you bring
I'm
up
sorry,
Why would you bring up your mother right now, Franklin?
A what?
Why would you bring up your mother right now?
I didn't bring up my mother. My mother has nothing to do with this.
Are you certain about that?
Yeah, there you go. Last doctor did it too. My mother's dead.
You just spoke about your mother.
No, I didn't.
You grew up in this house,
This
didn't you,
is
Franklin?
another experiment to tell me that I'm saying wrong things. I said things I shouldn't have, and just not having it.
Franklin, would you have any objection if I record with my phone as we go through the house?
What the hell can I do about it? You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Thank you. I take out my phone and I open the audio recorder and I just start recording the audio.
Okay.
GM, just in terms of, in terms of this moment, listening to the doctor talk to Franklin about his mother and him denying it and seeing the reaction on Cats as well. Can I attempt to read the person?
Yeah, of course you can.
As a dice roll.
Yep. So you take 2d10 and you add your intuition to it.
Okay, intuition.
For you, that would be +0. So you're at
0. So that's 11.
11. Okay. So
Yeah.
with the move, read a person, you get one question, and that you can ask. And some of those you can ask is, is he lying? How do you feel about this current situation? What are you about to do?
Yeah.
Like you can ask kind of like, just you get one question that he'll answer truthfully.
And I'm asking him in character.
Yeah. So many possibilities.
Because of the way he's asked Cats about Cats' mother, I'm going to say, it's completely out of context for the other two. I'm going to say, do you remember asking me about a kid outside?
You see him just kind of, shaking, kind of going back and forth like he has been. He just kind of stops and he looks over at you. And she's with mom. She's with mother. Lyda? And then that rings a bell.
Yeah.
And he should not know something like this. So I will ask you to roll the first keep it together of the game, because this kind of shakes you definitely. So I will ask you to take 2d10 and roll your willpower stat, please.
Okay, so that's 9 on the dice, and willpower is +0, so a 9.
Okay, that was... So for people who are new to Kult, but anywhere between a 1 and 9 is a failure. 10 and 14 is a pass with a bad thing, and 15 and above is a complete success. So from the move list here, I'd say that this is an emotional trauma for you. So I will say take a -2 tick on your stability. So when you look at your character sheet, you'll see on the left-hand side at the bottom, there's something called wounds, but we're not paying. It should be called stability. So you started at composed for this, so you're going to take a -2 tick, so you are down to unfocused. So it's kind of like a role play stack queue of your kind of descent into just freaking out. So in these terms, role play wise, you generic gets rattled.
Nice. And it says next to it, -1 disadvantages. Does that mean when I roll anything now, it's at a -1?
Usually there's a set of skills for cult characters called disadvantages. It's part of their darkness or just what's happened to them in the past.
Yes.
It's kind of been ingrained in these pre-gens to... they're built into your background. So so you don't have any kind of labeled disadvantage, but anytime something comes up that is in this realm of this particular situation, I'll ask for a -1. Okay,
awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
So what happens?
Okay, yeah.
What happens to Jenner?
I think when he says she, was it Lydia is with, did he say with my mother?
Just mother.
With mother. I'll just, with mother. She's with mother? Is William
What?
with mother?
What?
William, the boy that is fucking missing, is William with mother?
I don't know any William. I don't know. My mother is dead. Why?
William, this is William's house.
These
We're standing
names
in William's
over and
fucking
over
house
again,
right
these
now.
names. I don't know who these people are.
You bullshit. You fucking lying, you piece of shit. Doc, you see this? He's talking about his mother. He doesn't know who William is. Absolute bullshit. Have you ever seen a bigger fucking liar in your life?
Let's, I understand that this is getting us worked up. Let's go ahead and head to where we had discussed. Let's walk the path. And I think we will find some answers at the other side. Does that work for you? And I'll turn to Franklin.
I just don't want to be here. Just do what you have to do. I don't want to be here. Yeah, just let's go. Let's go.
I would like to, if I could, take a read a person action on him real quick.
Yeah.
I just want to see. I want to double check and see if he's feigning any of this or if this is actual distress.
Sure.
And so that's it's 11.
Okay. You get one question.
Is he genuinely forgetting what he is saying between sentences?
In a medical sense, in your expert profession, you definitely, the common signs are there for multiple personalities.
Okay.
From what you're reading, it seems to be there is an adult Frank. There's also there seems to be maybe a child version. You've only seen something look scared, but there's something else. There is the Frank that you guys have all started with trying to get out. You can see that, yeah, there's something there.
Yeah.
Maybe three separate. There's a facade, the real, and a frightened child, maybe.
Wonderful. Yeah. With that, I'll say, yeah, let's move along. I think we've been as productive in this room as we can.
Okay.
I'll nod to Aiden to move on up the stairs and have
Just
Francis follow.
just 1 second. I'm just Cats. You wouldn't mind taking this? I have you see him look at his cell phone. I gotta make a call. I'll be right back.
Fuck. Hey,
I'm gonna say,
what the fuck are you doing?
All right. All right. Just stay close, all right?
I'm right there. I'm almost kind of like
Yeah, he looks
hand on Franklin's shoulder as we kind of go up the stairs.
Yeah.
and my hands go into my coat pockets and I fall directly behind if possible.
Okay.
I'll be leading the way up the stairs.
Yeah, you're kind of shuffling along. He looks at you, Cats, and it's just like, who the fuck are you? You're too pretty to be here.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. But I'm here just like everyone else, trying to make sure we understand what happened.
If it's possible, I would like to make sure that Jenner's aware that my hand is on that syringe in my pocket as I'm coming up the stairs behind. Just to kind of convey, like,
Yeah.
if things go sideways, don't worry, I will knock his ass out.
All right, so yeah, no problem. So Cats, you're kind of bringing him along, and Franklin, like, he's shuffling along, and he just stops. So how it's kind of laid out. You've come in the back porch. You've kind of gone through there's a kitchen, there's a living room, but you guys wanted to go to the wardrobe. So there's this hallway that goes in the middle of the house down. And it's a situation where it's almost like there's two, like what the house was kind of renovated to. You see wallpaper from the floor up halfway, and then it was painted. But there's pictures of the previous family that, William Bedford, he was 9 years old. So there's a lot of different drawn pictures. There's pictures of the family. That's been all those images. They're either smashed on the floor, or there's black spray paint that's kind of all over the place, like trying to make like this identity disappear. But he stops at below one of these pictures. And the yellow paint that's kind of peeling off the wall, he goes to it. And he starts picking it off. He goes, "Mother doesn't decorate like this."
How did she decorate?
Not like this. What is this stuff? Your mother was a horrible person too. She probably didn't like you doing stuff like this either.
Well, I can tell you she didn't like this kind of wallpaper.
Your mom was a bitch, wasn't she?
Rest in peace.
And then he sees you looking in his face and just takes kind of 2 steps back. And that smell of bleach and cigarettes gets stronger as you kind of walk down this hallway. I'll ask you to roll Keep It Together for me, please.
Okay. Oh, good. It's a 10.
Okay. For this, anything between 10 and a 14 on a Keep It Together. These moves are, I'd say, 90% players' choices. So which of these do you want to pick? Which would be natural for Mr. Katz.
Okay, I'm going to become obsessed about Franklin's mother. Like, he seems to be honing in on this, and now I want to know everything about Franklin's mother.
Okay.
So the text is, you become obsessed plus 1 relation to whatever caused the condition.
Yeah, so we'll say that, like, Franklin's burning up some stuff. We'll say that you never had a good relationship, with your mother, but it sounds like, just for the times you've been talking to Franklin, I don't know, there might be some commonalities between. So, maybe this mother wasn't as bad as yours. Maybe you find out more about his. Maybe it'll bring you some closure or something. You're just obsessed. I think that's good if you're good with that description.
Yep, I'm cool with that. So Franklin, your mother didn't decorate like this. What did she do, like day to day?
What?
How'd she spend her time in the house? Did she like to do cooking?
What are you doing to me?
I'm trying to learn about you, Franklin. I'm trying to learn about you as a person.
Stop it! You're being too loud. If you scream,
I apologize. I will speak quieter.
I'll place my hand on his shoulder and say, Can we please try not to agitate the patient too much until we get to where we're actually going?
Shut up! She'll burn me with a cigarette again. And you see him just kind of cover up his face and just put his head down like that.
Is there a roll I can make to like reassure or try and calm?
Yeah, sure. It's called influence. It's called influence other, and you can roll 2d10 plus your charisma.
Plus. Okay. It's a 17.
Okay, first success of the game. What? exactly what you want to try to do. What was that
I
again? 'Cause have
will.
a squirrel brain right now.
I will try to get close to Franklin, like not too close, but just close enough that I can whisper when I speak to him. And I tell him that he is in a safe place and that he doesn't need to worry about cigarette burns.
Okay. Are you one of Mom's friends? You know what she did to me? You do?
I don't. Could you tell me about that?
She used to. I don't want to get in trouble. I love her.
Of course, we all love our mothers. Of course, we know that.
Whenever I was bad, she used to lock me and my sister upstairs. I don't want to go upstairs.
Well, you're safe now here, so we are going to go upstairs, but it's going to be okay.
No. Not going upstairs.
No one's gonna lock you anywhere, and we'll all be with you.
And you see him. His eye gaze goes from. He was stable there for a sec looking at you, but then he kind of reverts back to this cantankerous person. And just looking up and down and around the hallway. No, I want out of here. Get me out of here.
I'm going to tap Jenna in the back. How about a cigarette?
Yeah. I'll pack it out, flip one out, hold the cigarette out. I'll hold the lighter as well, as if like,
yeah,
do you need the lighter?
I'll take the light. And then I'm going to take a deep pull on it and just blow some smoke up behind our friend. Basically, I'm trying to fill this area. I'm going to make it. I'm hoping that I can make him start. He mentioned the cigarette smoke. I'm hoping that I can trigger him and cause him to want to get away from that cigarette smoke.
Okay. Good. Let's make you roll something here. That's your. What's the best one for that? You're trying to.
I mean, I would say it's influence other probably.
Yeah, no, that's more of a charisma-based thing, but you're kind of doing something physical. I'd say act under pressure.
Okay.
I think would be the best one for that. So do 2d10 plus your coolness stat. Best stat in any RPG. Or stat name, sorry.
Coolness.
That is a 12.
Okay. You light up the smoke. You start filling stuff up and around. He looks up at it all and he does get scared, and he turns so fast that he breaks grasps from the guard from the correctional services van, and he makes beeline for the front door.
Oh, I would like to stab him directly in his shit with this needle I've had my hand on this whole time.
Yeah, if he's making a move as well, I will absolutely tackle him to the ground.
Yeah. All right. First of all, the doctor, you rolled a half success. So
yes.
What you just said, you had the needle ready. He accidentally bumps into you as you're beelining it for the door, and you accidentally stab yourself.
Oh, awesome! I'm gonna take a nap then.
It does. It's not the whole thing, right? You're just like, oh crap, you're injecting yourself. It does go into you, and the needle. You might get semi-dosed, and the needle kind of breaks. And Jenner, you said, what happens? You see,
if he's running, he's got leg chains on. So
yeah, he's just like check down the hallway.
What I want to do is I'm gonna go after him. I'm going to reach down and I'm going to grab the leg chains with both my hands and just wait for him to take a step and just fucking yank it as hard as I can. So he should go flat down on his face. And then I intend to get on top of him because he'll be lying on his hands because they're chained at the front.
Okay, roll a engage in combat or 2d10 plus your violence stat.
Okay, what's that?
That would be...
That's 19 I've rolled.
You do exactly what you just said.
Okay, I want to get to the point where pull the chains. Franklin drops, lands very probably painfully on their hands that they can't hide somewhere else. They've got no way to shield their face. So face probably hits the ground as well.
Yeah,
and then I will...
Yeah, his face falls down and his nose just goes sideways and just blood starts pouring down.
And I will then get on Franklin's back with one knee very much into the spine and just kind of put a hand on his head to keep him in place. Just not shouting because I don't want to alert anybody outside, any media or press or anything like that, but in a very stern, confident, authoritative tone is like, Franklin Mills, do not fucking move. If you move, I will consider this an aggressive act. You do not want to move right now. Do you understand?
Look what you did to my face. That's a little aggressive, isn't it, cop?
You did that to your own face. I did not touch you. I pulled your restraints to restrain you from hurting yourself, and you nosedived at the floor. We all saw it. There are witnesses here that saw you bolt for the door and then throw yourself on the floor. I am trying to protect you from yourself. Do you understand?
I don't care. I don't care anymore. You're going to tell me what I'm trying to say anyway. And, he's down on the ground. His mouth is up against the floor and he's just spits out blood. And he just looks defeated.
I'll roll him over. I haven't got my gun out. I've not got my gun against his head or anything like that. Nothing that aggressive. But I will roll him over and I will take his hands. And before I start to pull him up, I will then just say quietly, Franklin, you've got a lot to answer for. You are going to go where we tell you to go. And you're going to tell us the truth. We are taking you upstairs. Do not run. Answer everybody's questions. Do you understand?
Take me upstairs. I don't care. Why am I even on the... You hurt me again, didn't you? You stuck me with those drugs. You stuck me with those drugs and you're making me forget things, putting stuff in my brain, in my mind. Then you're in his face. He spits blood and it just covers your face.
I will, with my hands on his wrists at this point, I will leverage my weight and I will kind of put, because he's a big guy, I will pull him back up to standing. And then I will put one hand kind of on my holster and one hand on him and say, I don't know what the fuck is going on with you, Franklin, but get your shit together. You need to fucking focus and do it now. Stop pretending you don't know what's going on. We're going up those stairs, and if you pull any more fucking childlike shit around here, then we'll treat you like a fucking child. Do you understand?
He looks over at you, Cats. You seeing this? I'll probably need a lawyer. Brutality. I hope you... pro bono, huh? You saw it. You saw what he did.
No brutality took place. We're going upstairs now.
He looks over at you.
Scruff of his uniform. I've got him, and I will walk him.
Okay. He's about to say something to you, Cats, but Jenner grabs him by the back of the thing and pulls him away. Okay.
I'm trying to march him upstairs. Unless anybody's got anything to say on the way or interrupt, I'm trying to march him upstairs to that wardrobe.
No, did I get knocked over, or did I
like Sammy? Like, he just shouldered you. You went into the wall. The needle kind of stuck you a little bit and fell on the ground.
This is probably vitally important to how I comport myself for the remainder of this scene. Did anybody see the actual needle get pulled, or did I stab myself before I got it out of my coat?
Let's put that to the dice.
Sure. What should I roll for that? Would this just be like
Yeah, this will just be just do
improvised move?
reflexes. Yeah, just roll 2d10 plus your reflex stat.
That's a 12 on the dice. 13.
It didn't puncture you, but the needle did break.
Okay, but I get more to the point. Did anybody else see it?
No.
Okay.
We'll say you're successful in them not seeing, but you know that the needle broke yourself.
Okay.
So they still think that you have a tranquilizer needle in your pocket.
Sure. Well, one of them does. I don't believe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
um,
but I ain't no rat.
Of course
in that
not.
case, I'll stand up and straighten myself up. And this stairway that all this was taking place near or on, is there a banister on the stairway?
Yes. It's one of those ones. Like it's not a banister, but it's one of those. Like it's two walls, and there is a banister that's screwed into the wall joists as you walk up.
Is there a flat area at the bottom of the stairs on like a handle or like
Yeah.
I'm going to set the cigarette on its filter on the bottom of the banister so that it'll just continue burning, sitting there tossing up smoke as we walk up.
Okay. All right. So, Cats, you're prodding him along, getting him to the top. Like I said, downstairs was almost like a wreck. There was in the living room. There was a pile of old child's toys that were set on fire with black soot on the ceiling. There was kind of like that back porch area where you kind of started smelling the bleach and cigarettes. It was faint there, but as you kind of go up these steps and you get to the top landing, it's smaller up here. Like I said, it's like a 1.5 level house. So there's once you're up on this kind of landing area, there's the master bedroom, which was off to the left, and there's a bathroom that's off to the right. And as you've kind of gone up these stairs, the smell is it's enough to kind of make you cover take part of your coat and just kind of put it over your mouth, just because it's so strong. And the bathroom door on the right, that's open. It's one of those old kind of porcelain clawfoot bathtubs. It's filled with that black, oily-looking water. Looks decrepit. But when you look in the master bedroom, it looks exquisite. Looks clean. Looks like there's a carpet on the ground and the little tassels. They're perfectly like, if someone throws down a carpet, no one cares about straight tassels, but it's almost like they're combed. They're nice and straight. The bed is made. Everything's tucked in. Looks great. Reminds you of when you were a kid and what your mother used to do. But the weird thing about it is you see from the landing, you look through the door, there's a pack of Virginia Slims that sit. They look brand new. They're opened, but like it's 2015. The packaging in that looks like it's back from like the 50s or 60s. And they're just sitting there. Looks like a few cigarettes are out of the pack.
Does everyone see that?
They see the immaculate room, but the cigarettes they don't.
Okay. I want to go over and try and gather the cigarettes. Like, can I feel them, touch them?
Yeah, you go over, you pick them up. They're physical.
Okay.
To the others, you see Cats at the landing holding on to Franklin, just standing there, looking in the bedroom.
Cats, you
Something
okay?
wrong.
These cigarettes they look like they've been here for a really long time.
He's looking at you with an empty hand, talking about a pack of cigarettes.
Don't you see this, like the ad on the back? It's that hasn't been there for years.
I Mr. Katz, can I talk to you aside for a moment?
Franklin, come with me.
Mr. Katz,
Sure, yeah.
you look back at your hand, it's empty.
Where do you okay, I suppose we should continue on with the investigation. Yes. That's
Give me
probably
just
You're-
if you could give me just one moment, please. I'm going to take out my cell phone. And I'm going to
You actually get a text message when you do. Ding.
oh, what is it?
It's a you don't recognize the number. You recognize the number, but it's been a while. You're like, it takes you a few minutes to kind of look at that and be like, I've seen that number before. And there's a text message attached to it.
I will do two things at once. I'm a multitasker. I'm going to turn on my light on my cell phone and be like, is it possible that you might have gotten bumped into? I'm just checking to see if you have a concussion. You know?
that's fair.
But while I'm doing that, I'm also checking the text message.
It's from Josie. It says, "I feel terrible today. I've cut myself again. Do you have time to talk? I really need to talk to you."
Josie is not in any position to be sending me a text message, right?
Totally.
I'm going to.
Franklin looks at you. You're a doctor. Why are you killing us? Why are you killing us? You should help people. And then kick out of his stupor again.
I'm going to put my phone back in my pocket and say, I think you might have gotten rattled for a moment during the exchange.
He's like to the cell phone light. He's just like, huh? What?
Perhaps we all did.
I'm not feeling good.
He says that?
Yeah, he looks dazed and confused.
Say, I think you might have been disoriented by the excitement. Myself as well, perhaps. But we should press on.
Roll to keep it together, Doctor. As you should not be getting texts from Josie.
I should not, no.
Her mobile plan's run out, hasn't it?
What's that, sorry?
Her medical plan.
Her cell plan's run out, hasn't it? That's why you shouldn't be getting text messages from her.
Yeah.
It's a 13.
Okay. Not a complete success, so it does, if you have the player move PDF in front of you, which one of these do you think the doctor succumbs to?
I think probably I would like to kick this can down the road because I have some plans for what I want to do once we actually get in that room, and I think it would be hilarious if I was haunted by the experience at a later time. So
That's totally fine.
just add that to whatever other chaos happens once we get into this area.
Okay, yeah. We'll be haunted by this in 2 minutes. All right. Okay. So, yeah, Franklin looks kind of out of it a little bit. Mr. Katz, you're like, what?
I keep looking at my
what's going through your
hand.
brain? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the landing and the back of my hand. I try to avoid eye contact with the doctor at all costs. But eventually I just kind of, I wipe off my hand on my pants. I straighten myself, make sure that my suit is in a very still nice, organized fashion. Maybe fix the one bit of hair that's sticking up. It's like, onto the wardrobe. Yes. And I start walking that direction.
I'll gently whisper to Jordan, would you care for a sedative, perhaps?
What do you whisper?
Would you care for a sedative, perhaps?
No, I'm perfectly fine. Thank you.
As Jordan walks by me, I'm absolutely going to take a sedative.
Damn, I'll have to wait 5 minutes for the haunted at a later time. Okay. What do you folks want to do?
Are we still heading into the wardrobe?
Yeah, wardrobe.
All right. So you get him in there.
And
oh, sorry, detective.
no, I was just going to say, yeah, Jenna is there, like, always right now very close to Franklin, and just kind of making sure that Franklin's not going to have any bullshit about being manhandled, X, Y, and Z, and whatever. Everybody witnessed what happened earlier, and Franklin's escape, but this is a very delicate situation now. So yeah, but holding on to Franklin because also Jenna is seeing what's happening with Cats and the doctor.
Well, Aiden.
To Jenna, they're not police.
Yeah. Well, Aiden actually comes back in, and he comes up the stairs. His cell phone is in his hand, and his hand's shaking a little bit as he kind of comes up, and he just kind of looks down at it. He looks in the bathroom. He looks toward the bath. He's just looking everywhere, and he's just, everything okay, detective? Need my help?
We sure could have used it a minute ago, Aiden. Are you sure you're okay?
Yeah. Just my family just texted me. I just needed to take care of some things.
Are you
I'm fine.
capable?
I'm fine, doctor.
Are you capable of watching the door once we go into this room?
Yeah. I'll watch the doors.
If you're too distressed for this or any duty, by all means.
I'm fine, Doc.
No one would blame you.
He puts his cell phone away. He looks a little bit more stern. I'm fine, Doc.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Doc, people would fucking blame you. Aiden, you're on duty. I know you're not signed on at the minute, but you're fucking representing here. Do your job. Maybe if you did your job a little bit more often, less people would be getting hurt. You understand?
I am doing my job, detective. It gives you a
fucking hope so.
Long stare.
Once we are inside that, the master bedroom, what's the furnishing situation in there?
It looks very exquisite, actually. When you get in there, the air is really cold. There's water dripping down from the ceiling, but the bed is immaculately made up. There is a floor rug, and like I said, all the tassels are perfectly laid out, all nicely parallel to each other. There's a big kind of old wooden wardrobe that's closed and off to the side, and there are some boxes packed on top of it. Some of them have written in marker toys. But when you kind of go in there, Franklin gets to the I call it the crest, but just, the door before you get in the bedroom.
Sure.
Yeah, he gets there, and it's just, I don't want to be locked in there again. My sister's, Lisa!
I'll set my briefcase down on the bed, pop it open, and produce the photos I have of his sister.
Give me an influence other roll, please.
Sure.
Or maybe just the improvised move using the new set there. And just roll a charisma.
Okay.
2d10 plus that.
That's 4.
Yeah. You got Franklin. Kat's got Franklin in here, and he is so... when someone's really distracted and you're trying to talk to them and they're just not listening to you anymore? That's Franklin right now. He is freaking the fuck out.
So just in terms of where we are, I'm with Franklin, like hand on. That's standard at the moment. Is the doctor's in the room, having put the briefcase on the bed? Where's Kat's?
I'm at the wardrobe. I led the direction there.
So I will, if Kat's is by the wardrobe, and you said that there's boxes of toys there?
Yeah, there seem to be boxes of toys packed up top.
Okay. I'll be like, Kat's, get the toys, get the toys.
All right, I'll get one of the boxes down and pick out a toy that looks like it hasn't been damaged, like it looks like a decent in shape toy and toss it to the detective.
And I will. Well, I will. I know where to hold people because I'm a police officer. I know where to hold people that won't show marks. And I will try and turn Franklin's head towards. I'll say, Franklin, there's your toys. Your toys. You're gonna show us your toys. I don't believe that he's being a child, but in this moment, I'm gonna let him play his fantasy. I do not believe it. He's fucking bullshitting, and I want to catch him out. But I want to see him play out this bullshit. I'm a kid thing.
He grabs the toy from you. Do you let him take it?
So he runs into the room. Yeah, I chuck it into the room.
Oh, you chuck it into the room. No one's ever done that before. So yeah, no, you chuck the toy in the room, and he goes for it. And he's like, "Oh, I don't want to make a mess. I don't want to make a mess." And he grabs it and he sits down, legs crossed, and squeak, 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 squeak. And
I'll look over the doctor.
He goes into this childish state.
I sit down the same way across from him. No, I'm wearing a skirt, so I'll probably kneel. And lay the pictures out in front of him. Pictures of his sister, picture of his mother. And I'll say, Franklin, we need you to be honest with yourself and with us now.
She's close. I can hear her. I know she's there.
She's not there, Franklin. She's dead. They both are. As are your victims from this house.
No, quiet. She'll hear you. And then
ask him where William is.
All three of you, as you say that, Jenner, there's almost like the house shakes.
That's odd.
What was that? Did you guys feel that too?
Fuck. I'm guessing Detroit's not like an earthquake centric.
Nowhere
location.
near one. Yeah. No.
Okay, sorry, bad geography knowledge there. Apologies, everyone.
And before we go any further, I think this is a good time for a 10-minute.
Beautiful.
10-minute break.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So,
excellent, Ryan. This is brilliant. This is ace.
Yeah, no problem. For those out in the Twitches and the YouTubes, stay tuned. We'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a good job we didn't tell the chat what we think about them.
What we really think of the game. All right, perfect. All right, cool. So, yeah, welcome back, everyone. And as everyone hears, we are really enjoying ourselves. And, yeah, we'll keep on going. We are going to go to 5 p.m. EST. So that is an hour and 20 minutes. And we are looking good. Okay. So, excellent. House. And Franklin's still on the ground, shaking back and forth. Squeak, 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 squeak.
I think the last thing Jenna said was ask him about William.
Yeah.
Have I been able to build any sort of rapport with him at all at this point? Have I been able to insert myself into him now that he's moved, he's sitting down, he's got the toys?
I'd say you've been able to get into this child facade. You've been able to calm him down the most. So, yeah.
Say, listen, I know that you're frightened, Franklin, and it's okay. You're safe here. But there's another little boy who is very frightened. William. Does it ring any bells? Do you know anything about a William?
Mother, he's Mother's son. Mother.
Did Mother hurt William?
Don't want to think about it.
I understand it's hard, but you're safe from Mother right now.
Nope. Shh. Mother's here. Shh. She'll burn you with a cigarette.
You know how I know Mother's not here, William?
You don't know nothing.
She's dead. She's gone.
No.
Oh, she's dead. Trust me. I'm quite well versed in matters of death. You see, you're not the first.
Who the fuck are you?
You're not the first sick person I've had to speak with, William, and or William. I'm sorry, Franklin, and you will not be the last. And I can recognize your illness, and I can recognize your pain, and you need to help us, because if you can't help us, then you're simply giving into this cycle of more pain and more agony. And really, at that point, what good are you to anyone?
He looks over at you, cats. They're having a drink together.
Your mother and my mother? Of course they're drinking.
Squeak, squeak.
How do you know that they're together?
He snaps out of it and just freaks out and sees the wardrobe, looks at the toy. Like, he's still chained up, right? So he throws it. Nails are like, he's trying to get to the door.
I'm at the bedroom door. There is no way he's getting out of there.
Well, let's see what happens. He charges at you like a bull. So
is he just going around me or going through me? Because I was sitting directly in front of him.
Okay, yeah, he's if you're beside him, he's trying to get up. Actually, that's a good point.
Yes, my point was I would be like facing him, basically, right?
Yeah, so he's going to try to roll back on his back and kick you in the face to get out of the way.
Okay.
All right. So you probably weren't expecting him to do this, but I will let you please roll and avoid harm. That will be 2d10 plus reflexes.
That's 8.
Okay. Unfortunately, it's like a cornered animal, and he just lashed out. So roll and endure injury. That's the move underneath it. Let's just see what happens, because he gets you right straight in the face. But let's see if you can take it. Roll 2d10 plus fortitude minus 2. Tacked onto the end of that for the kick in the face.
Oh. That was a 14.
14? Okay. You're still standing. It definitely throws you off balance, we'll say. Well, you won't take a wound from this. He is able to... You're able to get out of the way, and he kicks you in the chest, and it does knock the wind out of you, and you do fall back on your ass. And he scrambles up, and he makes a charge toward the detective. Cats, what are you doing?
I am getting a toy out of the box that I'm still holding, something with a little bit of weight, and I'm going to attempt to throw a toy at his head.
You go in to get... Take this rubber duck. I'm just kidding.
It's a brick duck.
Brick duck. You put your hand into the box, and then you just hear in your ears, cats, Joshy, are you being bad again?
No, I'm not being bad.
It's your mother's voice. What are you doing, Joshy?
What are you doing?
Are you making a fool out of me? Are you making a fool out of me again?
No, I don't do that. What are you doing here? Leave.
I'm telling you, Martha,
What the fuck are you doing?
He is such a shitty kid. It just makes me look bad in front of all the other mothers, and you're just here.
I don't make you look bad. I'm just trying to get a toy.
So from the doctor and Jenner, he's just talking to himself. But this is real for you, cats. Roll another keep it together, please.
Yes. Okay, that's decent. 16.
Okay, you're it. How do you put this in a memory box and put it back?
Okay, so I'm kind of in the midst of this talking to Mother, but then I snap out of it. I hear the detective, and then I compose myself, and I like shake it off, and then try and grab a toy.
Yeah. You go in there, you get, it's one of those kind of wooden xylophone things that has some weight because it's old and it's built like quality. And you take it, and you're in close quarters. You don't have to roll. You just whip it at him, and it hits him in the back of the head, and stops him in his momentum. And Jenner, how do you react? Looks like he's falling forward, but still with enough momentum to warrant something.
I'm so determined to keep him in this room. It's taken such an effort to get him into this room. So I'm going to kind of like grab him by his shoulders and stop him from landing on his face again, because I'm worried about claims of police brutality, even if it's not the case. And I'm going to grab him by his shoulders, but use his momentum and basically just slam him into the ground, like shoulder first. And then hopefully he'll bounce. But I am kind of aiming this towards the wardrobe. So he should potentially, if I'm lucky, sprawl out towards where the wardrobe is, or at least that side of the room.
Yeah, definitely. Since Katz was threw that so well, and Franklin's he's definitely in a disarray moment. You're able to do exactly what you say you want to do, and you get him. You have him by the cuff of the neck, and you have him in front of the wardrobe.
Yeah, absolutely. And one hand, and I'm going to pull the wardrobe door open and lean Franklin essentially in.
Okay, you grab the wardrobe door, you open it up, and just like
I see the dogs are freaking out.
Psychological waterboarding.
So, detective, as soon as you grab that and you crank the handle down and it goes to open up, you see the door kind of start to open up. But then you blink and it's locked. You're there. The rest of you are there too. But it's one of those moments where everything just, it's very bright outside. It's like someone flicked a light switch and turned on a bunch of lights. The room looks well kempt, more than before. That pack of cigarettes on the table, everyone can see it. It's there. Franklin, where the fuck did Franklin go? Yeah, you have the cuff of the neck, and Jenner, you're just like, doctor. You hear, you're by the door. That smell of smog, that smell of like smog, and that just prevailing air of just, not being able to breathe, and just the rot of this house. You look out on the hallway. There's this yellow linoleum floor. This place, it looks like decoration from the 60s or 70s. Like the house isn't burnt anymore. And you hear there's this gospel music kind of humming in the background.
Can I move out of the room?
Oh yeah, you can do all that.
I'm going to start following the music.
Okay. Cats.
Do I see Franklin, or is he gone from the room?
No, Franklin's not there.
Okay.
But you see the doctor walk out. You see Jenner just like,
okay. I'm going to go up to Jenner and say, hey, man, I think we need to get out of here.
I'm just, where the fuck is Franklin?
I don't know.
Where the fuck is Franklin? I'm going to rip open the wardrobe doors, and I'm basically, whatever's in there, I'm like clawing it out to try and see if he's gone in there.
The door, you try to open it up. It's firmly locked. And you hear,
from inside the wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bang on it. Hey, who's in there? Who's in there? William, is that you?
Doesn't sound adult.
I'm gonna try and like find anything in my pockets that I can attempt to lockpick this wardrobe open.
Sure. Roll and act under pressure, please.
Okay.
Doc,
Plus-
what are you doing?
Well, I was following this gospel music. Where is it playing from?
Seems to be coming from downstairs, probably toward the back of the house.
Do I pass the kitchen while I'm heading toward it?
It sounds like it's coming from the kitchen.
Okay, I'm gonna head into the kitchen.
Okay, you go toward the kitchen and 70s decor. You see the back of like probably a homemaker, probably about 5'7". Back turtle.
Is this a 5'7" homemaker I have pictures of in my briefcase?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna grab the biggest knife and slit her fucking throat.
Before we get there, sitting at the table, you see, fuck, it can't be. It's Josie. And she's sitting there. There's blood leaching down from her wrists. She coughs. She takes her hand and takes out a razor blade.
And I'll say, "Don't worry, I'll get to you next." And
Okay. We'll put a pin in that for a sec. Okay. Back up.
Put a knife in that for a second.
Back upstairs for a sec. What are you two doing?
So I rolled a 16 on my act under pressure for lockpicking.
Yeah, you're able to pick the lock, no problem.
Okay.
You hear that? You hear the sounds.
Yeah, bust open.
It's an empty wardrobe. There's a single light bulb from the top, drawstring, and empty coat hangers, and a strong wooden back. And when that opens up, it's almost like an echo through the void. Help me!
Still coming from there.
Yeah, it's like you're in this cavern and there's an echo coming through.
Okay.
What the fuck? I put a hand, boff, straight out onto the back wall. Do I feel the back wall?
Roll a C through the illusion, please.
Oh, shit. didn't expect that.
Take
Okay,
that is 2d10 plus your soul.
Okay. That's 14 minus 1. So that's 13.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't do that noise. Waff, waff, dead.
You put your hand on the back of the wall, and it's almost like you fall through something, but you end up on the road. So, cats, you see Jenner push against the wall, and you just see it's almost like a skits in reality. It's like, zzz, and she just disappears. And you're just looking at the back of this wardrobe again. But Jenner, you end up outside. Looks very familiar. You see 514 Waring Street. You see it's the house. You see the streets. You see the adjacent homes, but everything is kind of encroached in like a grayish fog. You look at these different homes. You see figures in the windows. You see a couple figures down the road that are standing there, but they're all kind of shadows shrouded in darkness. But it's like the shadows had a form and substance, and they were standing there. And you hear these faint laughs from every single one of them. But just not only that, you see Lydia. She's standing there in front of you. Or sorry, she's sitting there on the ground. Her leg at a strange angle. And she looks up at you. Why didn't you take me to the hospital? You could have saved me that day. Why didn't you take care of me? You're an adult. I'm just a kid.
Lydia, fuck, Lydia, you were already dead. There was nothing I could do. You fucking came out of nowhere. You were already dead. What am I going to take a dead body to the fucking hospital?
You're an adult. You should have did something. What kind of monster
drop to
are
my
you?
knees near her. I'm not a monster. I'm not a monster. I keep the monsters away. Lydia, you gotta believe me. You just.
The nice woman in the house said you would say that. And anyone who doesn't want to take responsibility would say that too. And you see the kid's mouth, just like Joker, expand and these jaded, serrated teeth come out, claws, and she at you.
Oh, fucking gun out, and I'm going to try and back up, like reactionary, just
okay. We'll put a pin
aim and shoot.
We'll put a pin in that too. Cats, what are you doing?
Okay. The echoing in the wardrobe. I want to ask them, like, who are you? Who's speaking? How can I help you?
Nothing.
No response. Okay. I'm now alone in this room, and I do not want to be here, so I'm gonna head down the stairs.
The music is gone. But you smell the smell of, thankfully, bleach and cigarettes. It's gone. But meatloaf. Someone is cooking a delicious meatloaf. Your mouth waters a little bit.
Yeah, she is.
I will head towards the kitchen.
And by she, I mean the doctor, and by meatloaf, I mean faces.
All right, so you head down toward the kitchen, and you would expect to see the doctor because that's where the doctor went, but you don't. And you walk down the hallway, brand new. You know that like the square pattern of vinyl linoleum panels, and everything just looks yellow, white, and 70s decor. There's the kitchen table, 4 seats. Definitely that's where supper's being cooked. And on the right-hand side, you see the couch. You see a familiar wine glass with wine bottle beside it, and a person sitting on the couch that looks really familiar. And you see this 5'7" housemaker, back turned toward you, curly, frilly hair up to the bunch, great big meat cleaver. Chop something on the kitchen counter, and she's just humming a song. And then which you know to be your mother. Josh, say to Martha, thanks, Martha, for cooking us supper tonight. Be a good boy.
Thank you, Martha. Thank you for cooking us dinner.
No problem. I'm here it's going to be a nice supper. My boy Franklin, I've lost him for a long time, but he's back.
Where is Franklin, Martha?
Well, see, that's the problem. I can't get to him. He's hiding somewhere. And I need your help.
Okay, well, I
need your help. I need my boy back.
I'm a good boy for Mom, so what do you need?
Do the good thing for the nice lady, Joshy. Don't make me look like an idiot again.
I won't.
See, I can only get to Franklin. I need you to bring him to me. I can't see him, but I know he's close. Are you going to be a night like this. She's just talking to you with her, like, I would do it, but, you know, back turned. She's just cleaving whatever on the thing. I need you to make him remember me. I want, talk to him. Make him feel like that I am his loving mother, which I am, or drown him. And that's another way he can get back to me too. Whatever you can do, just make him realize how much he misses me. Me and your mother have been talking, and she said that you were really bad when you were a kid.
I wasn't bad. She was just drinking. She was always drinking.
No, mothers are always right. You know that. And Joshy, I said, don't make me look bad in front of Martha. You're doing it again. This is what I tell you, Martha. She just all the time, blah blah blah. I just can't. And she takes a big swig of wine.
I'll get Franklin. I'll get Franklin for you.
Well, that's great to hear. Great. So this is kind of like, I know you're a big shot lawyer, so we got to sign this with a contract. You see that hammer on the table? And there's your mother's head.
But Martha, aren't you friends with my mother?
I'd say acquaintance. I don't really like her too much. We share some values, but the contract needs to be signed. And you see your mother get up. She puts her head on the table. Don't make me look bad, Joshy.
Mother, what are you doing? Leave.
I don't want to leave. Martha's great.
What? I just want to leave. I shouldn't be here. Where's Franklin? I'll get you Franklin. I don't need to do this.
You're right. He is a bad kid, isn't he? That's what I'm telling you, Martha, all the time. Her head's still on the table. She gets up and goes back over to the couch. Well, Martha goes, you're just going to have to live with me forever. You don't want me to bring me back my son? You're staying here. Meat cleave. Meat cleave. What do you do?
Is there a way for me to leave this room, or is it pretty much I'm stuck and contained? Okay, I will attempt to leave the kitchen and head outside.
Okay. You tried to leave the house. Roll me a see through the illusion, please.
Okay.
2d10 plus your soul, which could be stuck in the
10.
10? Okay. You leave the front door of the house, and kind of just like in Silent Hill, how the kind of environment just kind of peels around. You go through, and the house and the outside just like, and you're in. There's a steel gangplank, metal walls, rounded corridors, water dripping down. I love chat. Water dripping down from the ceiling, and a bunch of just old water noises. You get that smell that you smelled, it's like black, oily, brackish water smell. It feels like you're in a ship.
Okay. Is there anyone else around me?
That's a good question. You look in front of you. There's this long corridor and then a set of stairs that goes up. You look backwards and you see a man staring at you as he's staring back at you, completely confused and bewildered. It's Franklin.
Franklin, are you okay? No, don't be scared.
You were talking to Mother. I know it. I could smell it. And he turns around. He starts to run away.
I will run after him.
Okay, we'll put a pin in that for a second. And we'll go back to
So many
so many things going on. I know, right? Okay, so we go back to the doctor. What are you doing?
I was gonna the woman whose back was turned to me, his mother. I was gonna grab her by her bangs and open her head up like a pop can, basically. Just pop the tab.
Okay. Unfortunately, Josie, or whatever this thing is in between you and her. So you try to go toward, and kind of like the same description that happened to the detective. She coughs up a few more times, blood and razors, and you leave Miss Martha. You're not going to take care of her like you took care of me. And
You took care of you worthless waste of flesh.
what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to browbeat her. I'm trying to verbally abuse her into going away, whether that be just leaving or jumping on her own razor blades or whatever I can do to just make her get out my face, preferably in a dead way.
Okay. Roll and influence other, please. And 2d10 plus charisma.
That is a 12.
Okay, that is enough where you can tell you use a lot of words, and your words are just, for you, just as strong as a fist. Because even though, this can't be Josie, there's a part of her in there, and that's enough to stop her in her tracks, to be like, those words are hurting again. But the monster that's there is still there. So you stop her in your tracks before she was able to come at you. So you basically just stopped her.
All right. I would then like to still, while she is frozen, and I would like to still try to execute the mother, if at all possible.
Okay. Let's try this.
And while I do it, I'm going to look at Josie and say, "Look what you made me do."
Travis.
Oh, this is awesome. All
I'm
right.
playing a monster, y'all. I'm sorry.
You're supposed to be the best of us.
Unfortunately, we can talk about that later. Yeah, give me an engage in combat, please. Give me a 2d10 plus violence.
It's a 10 on the dice. I bet my balance isn't a 5. Nope. My balance is a +0. So I got 10.
10? Okay. You're able to go in. You're just punching her, or are you taking, what are you using?
No. So my plan was to grab her wig and open her throat.
Okay. All right. So you're able to get over there, grab the hair, and just, you kind of, you aren't expecting the strength that she has to keep herself motivated, like upright. You grab on, your hand goes around her neck, and you grab the hair, and you're just like, it's almost like you're a child and you jump on someone's, like an adult's back, and you're just trying to move them. We'll say that's the success. You're able to kind of get your arm around and pull hair, but that's it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, so we'll stay there for a sec, and then we'll go back to the detective.
Just as I'm loading my bullet dice, I think I was in literal pulling my gun out and firing it into Lydia's face as she turned into a fanged monster and jumped at me.
Yeah, so usually in the cult system, any kind of like hand-to-hand combat or like something like physical, it's usually engaged in combat. But anything like that, you're trying to gun and all this, it usually falls under act under pressure. So I will ask you to roll that stat, please, and 2d10 plus your coolness, as this thing is moving really fast.
coolness. Yeah, of course, yeah. So, 8 and an 8, which is 16, and coolness is +1, so 17.
Excellent. All right. So with your revolver or gun, you blast this thing, like you said, like you got a complete success, and you make, let's say you're able to get off 2 shots and you just fire. Head kind of explodes out, brain matter just kind of explodes out the back. One side of her face is gone. And the other side, the eye just kind of zones in on you. And the other side of her face just like, that hurt. And it lunges at you. If this was...
I'm going to away.
Yeah, if this was something normal, it definitely would have been dead. But this thing is not.
I mean, this is dead. She's already dead. This is overkill.
Yeah. So this thing, it's just going to, basically just come at you with piercing and slashing, like long, they almost look metallic, and lunges at you. Give me a avoid harm, please. And this will be plus fortitude -2.
So I've rolled 9. Avoid harm is +1, but you're saying -2, so that's 8.
Yeah. So just nothing can move this fast. So it's almost like that skits effect again, where she's like in one spot that's like, and slashes into your leg. So you rolled an 8, you said?
Yeah.
All right. So just in the realm of going with the action here, this is a player choice. Basically, the injury is overwhelming. You can choose to get knocked out and take a serious wound, or you can receive a critical wound and keep on going. So what this means, you can have up to 4 serious wounds without any kind of problems. It's like, a serious wound is like, you hit your head, you get a concussion, your arm is in a stent, you pull the leg muscle or something. But a critical wound, you can only have 1. And if you get a second critical wound, you die. So you could take a minor wound. So you could basically take a minor wound, get knocked out, or or this was a life-threatening thing that happened. Like you lose a leg. You lose a leg and you're hopping along. Completely up to you.
I think, I don't know. No, it's a critical wound. There's no way Jenna's not kind of like taking the lesser on this. She's going to keep going.
Okay, so
she's a machine.
Yeah,
she's fueled.
Yeah, so how I can see playing out, you do take the critical wound, and the critical wound is basically your right leg from the knee down has been sliced completely off, and you're just hopping there. I won't knock you over. That's too mean. And blood is just pouring out, and you just see this thing behind you and looking. Your turn to die.
I'm just so it's literally like below my knee. The leg is gone.
Yes, sliced completely off.
Shit. Okay. This is escalated very quickly, I will say. I blame Travis and his throat slitting that I don't know about because I'm not metagaming. I will.
I'll take that.
I am. Can I see the house? Can I see the house on South Waring Street? Okay. I feel I know that Cats and the Doctor are in there by my last guesstimations of what was going on. So, and Aiden of all people. So I am very much kind of turning and then essentially kind of like hopping toward the house with all of my will, concentration, focus, everything on not falling over, because I feel like if I fall over, then Lydia is going to slice me into a million freaking pieces.
Act under pressure. You're trying to get over there on one leg.
Oh, shit. Okay, where's that under pressure? Oh, yeah, coolness. I got you. Okay, right. Oh, so I rolled a 12, and I've got +1 coolness, so 13.
With a -1 due to the critical wound. It's still in that bracket of whatever. So you're able to get a couple steps, and you fall, like you're about to fall over, but you catch yourself on the white picket fence, and when you fall, it kind of leans you back, and you look back at her, and she just goes, "Martha's waiting for you," and she doesn't follow. But
I think Jenna is just, she just hops towards the house, just going, "Fuck you, fuck Martha, fuck all of you," and she's just like hopping towards the house.
Okay.
Bleeding everywhere.
Okay. You're able to get in, no problem. You're able to open the door, and you hear the screams of the doctor down the hallway. But before we get back to there, we will go back to obviously a ship.
Yes.
And you're chasing after Franklin.
I'm going to yell after Franklin that I need your help. We have something in common. We have a common enemy. I need your help. Maybe some sort of influence, other situation going on.
You're lying. As you're saying that, you kind of catch him in how he's talking. And yeah, give me a... where are we here? Influence other.
Okay. 12.
Okay, so with that, with a common goal in mind, he looks back and he stops in his tracks a few times. And you didn't like your mother either?
No, I didn't.
But you were just talking to her. You wouldn't be here if you didn't make a deal with her.
I didn't make a deal. I did not make a deal. Look me in the eyes. I did not make a deal.
You lie. And he picks up a broken pipe that's down on the ground, and in his maniacal kind of like, he just runs toward you with a big lead pipe.
Okay. I'm going to try and just like dodge out of the way.
Okay. Roll an avoid harm, please.
I rolled a 7. It becomes an 8.
So basically you're like, Franklin. And then it's just everything that's happening. You're just stuck in place, and the pipe comes and it clocks you on the side of the head, and it hurts. Roll an injury at plus fortitude -2.
Fortitude. Okay. Oh, 17.
Okay. Explain what happens. He comes with the pipe, but maybe it just misses a little bit. Like what do you? How would you think cats would react?
So I'm attempting to just roll out of the way to make it difficult for him to track where I am. So he gets very close to the side of my head, but I miss it and roll to the side.
Okay. Sounds good. And you just hear just the lead pipe come down to the ground, and just, you have that steel and steel echo just kind of like, and all the curses and screaming, yelling. He gets back up and looks like he's coming in for another whack. What do you do?
I will try to tackle him, going for the knees.
Okay. Roll and engage in combat.
I rolled a 3, so I'm going to say no.
All right. So,
yeah, it's 3.
All right. So with an engage in combat, rolling under there, so it's usually attack doesn't go as anticipated. You might be subjected to bad luck, miss your target, or pay a high price. So we're going to say in this one that you go to hit him, but he kind of grabs onto you as you're falling and kind of throws you in. There was like a bulkhead or a corridor that he kind of guides you in and kind of throws you in. And as you're kind of falling through, he just says, "You'll never find me again." And so just picture like a hallway and the door and you're falling through, but then all of a sudden it's like this. And it's like you're falling from the ceiling and you're going and you're falling and you fall into this water and you just whoosh, and you have this gripping splash and you're trying to kick back up to the surface of the water because when you fell, you gulped in and you just, what do you do?
Try to swim. Is there anywhere close nearby that's like a ledge that I can swim towards?
It's so hard to see.
So I'm just trying to get my head above water, like doggy paddle.
Okay. Yeah, it takes a few moments, but you are able to kind of break or crest the top of the water, and if you think you're still in the ship, but for lack of a better description, you think it could be the engine room, but this is some fucked up engine room. You got pipes, you got doors, you have steel walkways going vertical at different angles, and if you think like if you've probably seen like a photo or a piece of art where it's a bunch of different rooms and it doesn't make any sense. You have corridors going like that, except hellish, creepy, and kind of in this area. And you get your head back above water, your ears, you hear that same thing you heard in the wardrobe, and it brings your view back to this mechanical engine thing. And there's pipes. Like if someone was covered with spider webs and can't move, this one is metal pipes. And you see a 9-year-old boy stuck up against this piece of machine. And it's just, he's surrounded by hundreds of pipes going in different directions, just pushing him up against this thing. And he's crying.
I call out, William, is that you?
Yes, save me, please. It hurts so much.
I'm going to help you. I'm coming, and I will attempt to swim towards him and get on some solid ground.
Okay, we'll put a pin in that for a sec. And we'll go back to the doctor and the detective. So the detective, you just got through the door. And like I said, you heard the voices of the doctor and something off on the, you see the hallway, something to the left in the kitchen. This mother's pissed, doctor. She turns around and you don't even see a face. It's like a blur. It's like a blur face. And it's like if the skin was taken and stretched back and all you see are blurred orifices of where, eyes and the nose isn't even there. It's just the outline you see on a skull and just this blurred mouth. And it's very pissed off and mad at you. And you just hear, "How dare you ruin supper?" And she comes at you. And she goes into her kitchen apron, 2 pockets in the front, brings out like a stack of smoldering cigarettes and grabs onto you in the back and takes your face and tries to burn you.
I'm going to let her, but as she's bringing those cigarettes towards my face, I'm bringing that knife up her chin.
Okay. So the cigarette thing will happen first. That'll be
sure.
That'll be a straight injury, please, and that'll be plus fortitude -3 because this is this is gonna hurt.
I got a 20 on the dice.
Wow.
Fortitude is 0, so it still comes out to a 17.
No, that's okay. What? I'll give you our GM control. What happens?
Well, I mean, if possible, like I turn to the side and catch the burn, right?
Yeah.
And I go, "You think I don't understand pain?" And right up through her chin.
You rolled so well that we'll just say it happens because you two are basically just together.
And that would tickle me pink if the cop could walk in at that moment.
Walk.
Yeah.
How dare you? Hop.
Hobble.
Insensitive. How dare you, Travis? Yeah, no, absolutely. Jenna will walk in that moment where it's just
Yeah. So
yeah.
So doctor, you do this, and you just get this just this laugh of, it's almost enjoyment of what she's feeling right now, and yeah, but the perception of what she is changes as this is happening. Like, you stuck the knife in, she's enjoying the pain. It definitely seems, but it's almost like she's 7 to 8 feet tall now and growing, just grow. Like your perception of what she is when you were far from now to close is completely, it's morphing in this environment. But detective, everything looks normal for you. But what you walk into, yeah, what's going on? How's Jenner doing?
I'm not really sure what I actually see.
Is Josie still there?
Yeah, but Josie doesn't care about him.
No, but
Do I see Josie?
Yeah. But beside Josie, Lydia's sitting there too, and she holds up your leg.
Oh, fucking Lydia. Okay, so I get in and I see Lydia and I see the futility of trying to run away. So I'm essentially going to drop to the ground. I'm taking my belt off and I'm trying to tie it as hard as I can onto my knee. I'm trying to limit blood loss. And I imagine at this point I'm already like pale, extreme blood loss. And which I've always got the gun pretty much either in my hand, in my mouth, next to my head, whatever, just there trying to do this as much as possible. And
as you're doing all this, Lydia looks over at Josie. He's like, "See, I told you it'd be fun. Here, watch me triple with his own leg." As he's walking over. What do you do?
no, Lydia, fucking yeah, and I'm just like, whoa, Lydia, just back, just back, fuck off. I didn't mean it. It was an accident. You fucking came out in front of me. I you were dead. What the fuck am I supposed to do with a dead body? I'm not gonna fucking. How am I gonna? What the fuck? Who is that, Lydia? And I'm pointing at Josie.
You'll never die anymore. We'll have fun forever. Here, wow, watch.
No,
Here's
what the?
If I could,
Yep.
I would like to back away from the growing mother. And I assume you've fallen on your ass at this point, right?
Yeah.
I would like to just hit the wall, slide down next to you, look you over, and say, "How many bullets do you have left in that gun?"
It's a magazine, so I fired maybe 3, maybe 4 into Lydia's head. I'm pretty sure it's a magazine that holds things in your possession. Automatic pistol, not a holster, with 3 additional magazines. I have enough bullets to accommodate whatever you're thinking, which I think is.
I was thinking that our only way out of here is with those. They're just going to keep
Jenna's
coming.
in shock.
They're just going to keep coming. It's our only way. And I would like to try to persuade.
Persuade what, sorry?
Doctor, what's your prescription right now for this pain? I'm suffering with the pain in my leg, doctor. What would you prescribe?
The best thing you can do is make the pain go away. You can make the pain go away, Jenna.
Okay. I'm actually bizarrely I'm loving this turn of events. But in terms of rolling, my conflict is that I think Jenna is in pure shock. So I don't know if they're in a place to be agreeable. I don't know if they're in a place of anger. So we had this idea of them being unfocused earlier because of their wounds or their state of mind.
Yep. Basically what you just said, you can roll a keep it together and see what happens because you're stuck in this conflict. Right. And like you said, you're shocked. So I think this would be a good...
I'm sorry the doctor's trying to talk you into shooting yourself.
No, it's all good. Right, keep it together. I've actually rolled a 17.
Okay.
And then what do I... Wait. Sorry, keep it together. Plus 0. But do I add the minus?
Yeah, you have a minus
one. So 16.
Okay, you're good. You get your teeth, and you're basically logical for whatever the doctor's saying.
So I will if I've got I don't know if I've actually got even holding the pistol at this point, or I've got the pistol and I'm kind of like looking at the doctor. And I'm like, oh, fuck it, I ain't gonna end it like that. I ain't gonna fucking end it like that. You don't want to end it like that, doc. Whatever the fuck's going on here, my fucking, and I'm just going holding my leg.
What, we're going to run out? We're out of options.
I swing my gun around to... Who would I see as the biggest threat at the minute, Ryan?
The doctor.
Would it be...
Not wrong.
I use all 3 magazines on the doctor. Turn them into Swiss cheese. Is it the growing mother? Is it Lydia, or is it this person who seems to be talking to Lydia?
Well, that's the thing. It's like you think the doctor's maybe gone deranged a little bit. Hard to say. Like even what's happening in front of you. But
unbeknownst to you, it was a very short trip.
Yeah, but you're looking at it's acting like Lydia. It could be Lydia. She's almost at you with your own leg, about to knock you out.
I will unload the rest of the magazine into Lydia.
Okay, roll and act under pressure. Because you're hopping on one leg, you're trying to steady yourself. Just see this thing coming at you.
We are both sitting against the wall, I believe, was established. So.
And a -1.
Under pressure. Yeah. Oh, so I've rolled 12, +1, and then -1, 12.
Okay.
Which is not a 15 or above.
Okay. Nope. So you're able to get, instead of the few bullets, you're able to get another one in, and it takes out a side of her chest. But the complication is you don't take any hurt, but she is able to kind of take the leg and kind of like and
whack me with it.
Yeah, whack you out. So you're prone on the ground now, and she that hurt. Do it again.
Do you see my point now, Doctor? Officer?
I will.
Okay, so we'll go back to the mother for a sec. And she grabs the meat cleaver on the counter and slices and dices. How do you react? Well, actually, you're basically grappled. So this will be straight to... you can roll and avoid harm. 2d10 plus reflexes to see what happens. Dr. Demir.
I was going to say, thank God for that.
Travis, yeah.
For me,
I haven't got a leg to stand on.
I'm sorry, I thought you were jumping over to the other. That's a 5.
Ugh. Okay, so we'll keep it simple here. And basically the meat cleaver comes up, and it's almost like a riding cowboy bronco thing. She just takes it, and she just swings back and it goes straight into your back, and you just hear it. Definitely, we've never felt something so sharp, and it cuts through your skin, cuts through your back, and basically it's 3 harm. And humans in Kult usually have 2 wounds. So I will get you to an injury at -3 plus 2 your fortitude.
Okay. So I roll again to
Yeah.
resist injury.
Yeah.
That's a 4. That's a 4.
Okay. So, like I said, it's always the player's choice. Serious wound, get knocked out, or take a critical wound and keep on going.
Oh, I'll take a critical wound, and I will turn directly, clinging to the last remnants of self and focusing all of her energies on being the person she is at her absolute core. As she suffers this wound, she's going to look directly at Jenner and say, "Do you see what you've done? Do you see what you've caused?"
All right, so we'll swing back to our lawyer.
I'm sorry, she's such a horrible person. I apologize.
Ah, it's all right.
I was going to say, when we started this, I thought I was the hard ass. Whoa!
The curtains are pulled back.
Yeah.
Help me. Go back to the boy behind the pipes.
Yep. So I am just trying to get over to him as quickly as possible.
You see up, what do you call those? If you're in a theater and it has those
Catwalks.
yeah, catwalks. You see up in one of the catwalks, steel catwalks up top, as you're swimming toward the boy. You're having a little bit of trouble, but just because the water, it's getting in your mouth, and you only can taste is like oil and mixed with water. It's very hard to get through. But you're able to kind of get to the edge. But up in the up in the rafters, it's your mother. And she looks down and she just says, "You're such a terrible son. I want you to know that before you die."
Well, then get a better son. William here will be a better son. Save him.
He's the chosen. He's already owned. He's Martha's boy. Don't help me, please. It hurts so much.
Couldn't be your boy?
The machine comes to life and it starts to heat up, and the boy, it burns. Please help. And your mother up there, she's like, one final choice, Joshy. I was able to talk to Martha. You're a good boy. If you can bring Franklin to her, the boy goes home with you. All you have to do is sign the contract.
Am I at William yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Think about it.
I will think about it. Can you bring Franklin to me?
Sign the contract, Joshy.
Does there look like there's any way to get William untangled from this machine?
It would take a while.
Okay.
And you can start the smoke is billowing the room. He starts coughing.
Okay. Mother, come down here, please.
Is that a yes?
Yes, I'll sign the contract.
She falls in the water. But doesn't fall. It's almost like comes back up and she's walking on water toward you. I knew you were a good boy.
I'll grab a nearby pipe and take a swing at my mother's head.
Smoosh. The mouth. I know you were a good boy, Joshy. And she dies. And the pipes start cracking and rattling and fall apart, and the boy falls down on the ground.
I'll go over to him, just like make sure that he's safe, try to get him up.
Yeah. You pick him up. You're back in the corridor. You see Franklin back in a corner. And he looks up, completely like, what the fuck? He's looking for his lead pipe. The boy is in your arms. What do you do?
Does there appear to be any exits to this room?
It is a square, enclosed space.
Okay. Franklin, you have to go back to Martha now.
I'm not going back. I said I'm never going back. I'm never going back. You can roll an influence other. You'll have a -2 just based on the situations of what he's seeing, just
Okay.
because of all the social things and just what's happened to date.
7. It's a 10.
What do you say to him?
I say to him, it's going to be okay, but you need to go back to Martha now.
So since it's a 10, he looks at you. You go to Martha. I'll save the boy. That's what will happen.
What will happen to me if I go to Martha?
She loves having sons. You'll be her new son, her new boy.
Will you promise to save him?
Got really no choice about that. You kind of put me between a rock and a hard place.
I need you to promise you'll save him if I go to Martha.
I will bring him back. That is all I will do.
How do I get to her?
He just points. There's a door in this room now. Do you go through it?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You look back. The boy is looking at you confused, looking at Franklin. You could tell that he's petrified. There's a little bit, you see, there's maybe a little bit of human decency, but it's only there for a second. You just remember Franklin to be the murderous asshole that he was, but you walk through that door. And William just looks at you all confused. And you walk through. And we'll go back to the mayhem that is ensuing. Jenner, you're on your ass on the ground. You see that the doctor back has pretty much been sliced. You can see the spinal cord as the mother is whipping around. What do you do?
Oh, this is where it gets crazy, isn't it? Does it look like the slashing into the backbone of the doctor is continuing? Does it look like Lydia is continuing to attack me? Are they backing off in any way?
Lydia is pretty much playing like you, like a dog would with a toy. And the doctor isn't looking too good. The mother is furious. Because the doctor has wrecked her face and wrecked her makeup. And she's tore her favorite dress.
Okay, having put a new magazine in the gun, I will point it at the doctor's head and say, "Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?"
You're on mute.
Thanks. The doctor, barely having any control over her hand, pulls out her cell phone and opens her photos and starts scrolling through the pictures of Josie and Dermont and Kyle and Sarah, her former patients who she manipulated into ending their own lives, and says, "This is our only escape. I hope you'll follow me."
I pull the trigger.
Who are you pointing at? I didn't catch that.
Oh, at me.
That is at the doctor's skull.
Okay. You don't need to roll for this. You blow the doctor's brains out. What do you do? The doctor's body just falls like a limp sack of meat just on the ground, just like slides off her. What do you do next?
I'll put the gun against my own kind of temple, and I'm just going to look at whatever remains of Lydia's face and just say, "I'm sorry, Lydia. It was a fucking accident."
Lydia looks over at Josie. Oh, I didn't know he'd be this fun.
I'm fucking sorry. I'm so sorry. Why are you doing this?
He's going to pull the trigger. He's going to pull the trigger. Holy shit. And they're just looking at you in amazement.
Yeah, I think Jenna at this point, with the leg and the amount of blood loss and having shot the doctor, this is it. There's no heroic moment here. There's just already in hell. She pulls the trigger.
Okay. This is the most gruesome ending. So, what happened? What happens here? The camera kind of flies in to Mr. Katz. Well, before even going to you, it goes to the ship. William and Franklin walk out. They're back on the outskirts of Detroit. For some reason, the cops, there's ambulances, there's everything out there. William comes up himself. Franklin, who knows? But the police come up, the paramedics, they check him out, and they put a blanket over him, check him out. He's shocked. He's trying to figure out what the hell's going on. But it's like the ending credits in the movie where William's going to be okay. Then the camera flies to you. And you're at the wardrobe again. Back in the 70s. And you hear, or actually you smell, meatloaf. And the last thing you hear is your mother saying, "Miss Martha's cooking us dinner, dear. She's going to be cooking us dinner every day. You made a great choice to stay. Oh, you got two moms now. We're going to have so much fun." And we end with you there. And then the camera kind of goes over to kind of the same situation with the doctor and the detective. Jenner, it's this kind of grayish description of the environment that I gave before with all these kind of shadowy substances and warped realities. And you're in a car and you're driving, you have your cup of coffee, you're smoking your cigarette, and you get distracted for a sec. And then you look up and you see there's Lydia again. It happens. Oh, you're driving in a car again. Having a cup of coffee, smoking a cigarette. Over and over and over again. Doctor, or even talking to Travis, I feel like I'm going to let what happens to the doctor? Because I think you have something cooked up in your brain, or at least that's what I'm reading from looking at you. What is the doctor's endless torment in your... What would be her endless torment?
I think the doctor's endless torment is a never-ending cycle. She's sitting in her office, and one by one, Josie, Dermont, Kyle, and Sarah come in for their sessions, but instead of their normal weeping about the various problems they had and their normal malleability based on their psychological weakness, as the doctor saw it, instead they call her out on every bit of her bullshit, call her out on every lie, on every deception, on every pathetic attempt to try to manipulate them before telling her how powerless she is and walking out of the session. And it's just an endless cycle of those sessions.
And that is where we end Oakwood Heights for Kult Divinity Lost. I would like to thank...
That was awesome.
I would like to thank all of you again for being here. And with the final kind of closing out, I would like to go back around the squares and just tell everyone who you are and plug something about yourself, or just, tell us about yourselves one more time as we bid farewell for the day. XPLoveCat, we'll start with you.
Well, I'm glad William is safe, but I am emotionally hurting at the moment. But I'm XPLoveCat, and I talk about horror role-playing games on my YouTube channel, so check me out at www.youtube.com/@XPLoveCat. That's it for me.
Newman.
Hey, I am TA Newman. You can catch me at the Miskatonic Playhouse, where I run a podcast dedicated to doing actual plays of Call of Cthulhu community content. Also very lucky enough to be involved with the Council of Shoggoths, who run the Miskatonic Repository Convention, which is a really exciting convention every October, which is fantastic. And also a writer within the community. Check out, you can find me on Drive Through RPG under TA Newman, and a few other projects coming up in the near future. Can I just say, the chat have awarded us most gruesome ending ever. Wow, this is bad. Oh, because I said, I'm guessing we win some award. Martin Johnson has said, oh, you won Oakwood. And I put, yeah, we did. And then he said, beautiful, just beautiful. And then Tom Muir, who was wonderful in one of the panels earlier, said, never saw it end so badly. So I think we've done well, guys. I think we've creme de la creme. And all thanks to Ryan as well. So that's superb.
Thank you. And we end with Travis Legge. Tell us about you.
It's been my honor and pleasure to play the not so good doctor. Thank you all so much for putting up with my evil. Did the best I could to do her some justice, and I feel like justice was served at the end of the day. She got what she deserved. I usually am available over at the ONYX Path Twitch channel, twitch.tv/the ONYX Path. I also run social media for ONYX Path, so go follow them everywhere. Blue Sky is the nice place to follow these days, I'm told. And I just wanted to promote Curseborn once again. It's available for pre-order if you head over to Curseborn with an E at the end of it.com. You can get all the information on ONYX Path's triumphant return to horror using the StoryPath Ultra system. And if I have my way about it, maybe I can rope everybody on this screen into playing Curseborn with me over at the ONYX Path Twitch sometime. I've said it in front of the internet, so now if you all nod, that means you have to do it.
We're nodding.
It's been an honor and a pleasure. Really, thank you so much, Ryan. It was an awesome game. I really had a good time. And I hope my other players didn't find my forever DMness and therefore excitedness as being overbearing. I always worry about that.
That was great.
Wicked. Yeah.
And with that, everyone, where's the camera? There's the camera. With all that, enjoy the rest of, I think we have, oh geez, I don't know what time it is now. It's either another panel or a game session. No, this was a game session. Stay tuned for our next panel, which is coming up in about, I think 4 or 14 minutes. But I will end this stream by thanking every single one of you and have a good time.